Hello and welcome. I see Mark over here stuffing his face already. Just starting off the stream perfectly fine. I don't know if anybody else experienced that hiccup during the countdown. It paused for me for a second. I was scared. I was like, did my computer freeze? I was so scared. I was so absolutely scared. I was like, no, already. But yeah. Hello and welcome to tonight's TokuTonic shift, where we always end up talking about stuff Toku related that's going on throughout the week, along with some additional things going on. I'm your host, Zio Agito, surviving after being sick with possibly the flu or strep throat all week. I am feeling much better today, which means I'm having my first alcoholic beverage in a week. This is the longest I've been sober in a while.
Nice.
Proud of you.
So yeah. Congrats. Goes to show that I can indeed hold back if I'm sick. So yeah. All right. Joining me is the Oxy 360. Ash, how are you this morning for you?
Doing great. It's a wonderful morning. Got some Power Ranger news that we're getting a Draken one shot, which is exciting to see. It's going to tie into the coinless stuff. We'll see how that comes out. But apart from that, been watching King Oja, been watching Geats, and hear the talk about it this week.
Yeah, I also saw that there was some synopsis that leaked earlier when it comes to the Once and Always special that we'll probably touch on a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, let me move on with the introductions. Next up is a nerd named Mark. How are you, Mark?
Pretty good. I mean, it's all right. I'm eating because as Toku fans, we're eating good lately. You know, got to keep that. I think I'm becoming a Sentai fan now, a Sentai guy, because King Oja. It's good.
Might as well change your subtitle now. Be a nerd named Mark Sentai guy. Just put it there. Put it on the business card.
It is. Also, I got a sweet Kamen Rider Blade beanie on right now because Blade is the greatest Kamen Rider season ever made.
Okay, sure. Bet. All right. And and then joining us this week, we have not just one, but two seat fillers. The two seat fillers that we've had thus far. First up, we've got Nexus. How are you this morning, evening, night? It's like the middle of the night for you.
Yes, it is the middle of the night because my time zone. But hey, guys, I'm back from last week, and I'm excited to be here. And day has gone well. Just finished a lot of things, and I've de-stressed myself, so I'm very excited to talk about King Oja and Geats, and I'm going to promote a bit, but you guys were requesting it last week about me doing a King Oja opening, and I have done it, so it's now on my channel, so you guys can go and check it out.
Nice. And then fellow sick boy, Cloudy. How are you this evening, Cloudy?
Hi, I'm Cloudy. I'm heavily medicated.
All right, which means you might go on a medicated rant, if anything, possibly today.
Depends on what the topic is.
Well, we're going to start off with very simple things, and that is the latest superhero time of Geats and King Oja, starting off with the latest Geats episode. Now, the thing is, before starting the stream, I did put up a poll to ask folks what show they found had the better episode this week. We had Geats, we had King Oja, and I put in there reruns of Thomas the Tank Engine, because you can't go wrong with Thomas and Fritz. Actually, didn't they remake it? Isn't it CG now and completely ass?
I don't know. I don't watch kid shows.
You don't watch kid shows?
No,
Yeah, me neither.
Not at all.
Kid shows either.
None of us here do, right?
You don't watch American kid shows?
I mean, no, I don't watch kid shows in general.
Yeah, me too.
Which, from the looks of things, it looks like King Oja has won the poll when it comes to this. People are saying 50% of folks that have voted have said that this week's King Oja is the better episode. And I would tend to agree, because this episode was actually great. I found it superior to the first episode in many ways when it comes to the humor, the characterizations that we got in there. Yanma was a complete beast, and honestly, is skyrocketing in terms of favoritism for me, because this man carried the whole episode. Not only that, but just his society and Kasopa in general, just a bunch of nerdy thugs just the way that they're handling things, the hack wars that we got. I was not expecting to have so much enjoyment in terms of just pure laughter and just vibe with this show. But this episode definitely gave me all of that. Plus, even though we got some CG clusterfuck towards the end with the mech, they did it actually pretty well in terms of, for Sentai standards. In terms of going balls to the wall, that looks like something that would have been like, an arc finale, like mech battle fight that we got in there, including with song, like actual lyrical song track during the entire thing. So it definitely felt very like momentous for an episode. So Ash, what did you think about this week's King Oger?
Oh, I fucking love this episode. Like Yanma, like becoming. I don't want to say he's becoming one of my favorite blues because it's only been 2 episodes, but depending on where he goes moving forward, he might be like he's a better blue already than Sarah Brother. I will say that he's got points already.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But I just loved his kingdom with the cyberpunk feels, with like sort of the technology and stuff like that. He presses like that stereo, and you just hear his theme song blasting in the background. But like his whole area was just a vibe, and not only that, the character's like really freaking awesome. Where he treats his like people like shit, but he still respects them, which was something really cool to see as well. But this episode, freaking great! Can't wait to see where it's going to go next week.
And the thing is, it's like even though he treats his people like shit, it's like a mutual treating that they do between them, and it's just like this is just bullies talking to other bullies, but at the end of the day, they really just vibe well together, like the raw emotion, and like they get it. They're like honestly, so far this kingdom is like stealing the spotlight. I got to see how these other kingdoms stack compared to Enkasopa right now because they're really, really good. Mark, how did you feel about this episode?
As a tech guy, like that was the city itself was great. Like obviously the tech with the hand, the turd, like I'm waiting for that to be a real thing because I'm gonna get that implanted like day one. I thought the hacker battles was so great because there's a whole scene where he literally holding his laptop with one hand turns his back to her and yawns while just finishing her off in the hack battle. I was like, you know what, this is great. And the thing that like you both touched on is like they even at the end, like there's no classes there, they're all one crew, and I was like, that's so it's like equal roasting of each other, and I was like, that's what. And like now my thing going forward is I'm really curious of the dynamic between the leader in their kingdom and all the other ones as well, because we kind of got our feel for Vacles and Shogudan, so now I'm curious about the other ones. But Blue, like he's like main character status to me. Like I'm like, that's the main character of the show.
Comic Book King asks, have you guys seen Tron? Do you think the Blue Kingdom is inspired by the movie? Well, I have seen both of the Tron films. Definitely enjoyed them. I would say in terms of aesthetics, not entirely, because it really is more like postmodern future aesthetics versus the completely like 80s
like Blade
graphics.
Runner and
yeah. I pointed out, and I cut it out of my review because it was kind of long, and I didn't want to get like Funimation on my back. I compared to some of the, if you watch Digimon Ghost Game, they had a lot of the hologram cityscape and this and that. That was kind of it because the ghosts were coming through that digital world through these like hollow panels and this and that. It gave me vibes of that setup for like the closest like current genre like medium like show. Besides going back to like Tron or Blade Runner, like Digimon Ghost Game is still airing. And that's what I kind of paralleled it to, because they had a lot with like, oh, you could purchase stuff on the floating screens. There's floating billboards everywhere and like the holograms and VR and this and that. So it was like very reminiscent of that from like an anime standpoint.
Have you seen Digimon Cyber Sleuth?
You made me buy that game last night.
It's very comparable to that.
I've beaten that and Hacker's Memory.
It looks really
games.
It looks
They're on
very
sale
similar.
right now on the Switch. And
It's
I
$10.
bought it.
It's
I
so
bought
good.
it.
It's really good. You should get it. Everyone should get it right now.
Cody, while you're talking, how did you feel about this episode of King Oger?
God, I was hoping I was going to go last.
Nope, take it away.
So great episode. Love Yanma. I loved Yanma since day one when he was back talking the other kings in the courtroom with Raculus. That was like one of my favorite scenes. Like how he could just like see through people. Like his first real convo with Gira is, hey, let me go before I decide to level up your entire kingdom with the King Odra. And he's just like, yeah, do it. See if I care. And he's like, no, you're not that kind of guy. I know that because firsthand. I really like that about his personality. And I like that it also gives us, in this episode, we actually do get like hints, or not hints, but like some closure as to like why Gira can use the sword. Because Yanma himself is technically not royal blooded. He just rose to the top. So that means that anyone can really use the sword so long as they have what it takes to be a king or royal. So I like how we got that right in the second episode. So there's really not much questioning like whether or not he could, use the sword. And before I ramble on too much, go ahead, Zio. Toss it to whoever.
No, but you're absolutely right. I did like that this episode did kind of cement that the Oja caliber does not just respond to royal blood. It literally is just who is worthy, because of Yanma just stating that he literally came from nowhere and worked his way up through the ranks. So already we've lost that sense of hierarchy in terms of, oh, you have to be like of royal blood or something like that. It's really just like, does the Oja caliber see you as a king? And that's what goes along with that. So it was definitely enjoyable in terms of that. But yes, Nexus, how did you feel about this episode, having just rewatched it?
Yes, I did just rewatch it just for the stream, and one word to describe him: Aniki, like big brother, like someone that you can rely on him, and he will just do anything. He will lead his country. He's just such a role model, and I just really like that character of him just leading his country and being like, just shut up and follow me, and I will do it. Like the whole entire chat when he was about to kneel in front, he was just like, yeah, I can't kneel, and I was just like, oh, this guy, let's go. And then I also like how this episode also shows us a bit of his. There's a very small nitpick, like there was a scene where it was like showing him holding a broken CD. I think that's some history of him, and I like that small like that small just seed just showing us that, oh, there is some history with him, and we'll get into that maybe in the couple further of episodes. And also, I appreciate all of the side characters as well, from all of the people who were playing the citizens and just doing the hacking gaming battle, which I laughed. It was so funny. And then also the guards. There was one scene when Yamo didn't bow, and all of the guards were just holding their faces to the face. I was just laughing because I was seeing their reaction. And then his assistant Shiokara, I really appreciate him because he's just a really fun character of how his personality is able to be with Yanma. So I just really appreciate. Overall, very good episode, and I just can't wait for more.
Can I just say that the OST of this episode was like 10 out of 10 fire.
Oh yeah.
Like,
But then can I also say that we didn't even have the opening for this episode?
yeah,
That was a
we
big
get an episode
surprise.
2 without the opening being played, but I appreciate just the sounds of Enkasopa itself. If every kingdom has their own like vibe in terms of like soundtrack, which I really think was the hint that they gave us in the first episode, then we're in for a treat as we keep going. But Enkasopa definitely had some really good like music at one point. Like they were playing a jingle that I was like, ooh, that sounds like a fire standby sound from a Rider Bell, but it was just regular OST sound.
The OSTs come out next month, right? Or is it May? I forgot.
I have no idea.
It's usually May that they end up dropping.
I know I was very excited that it's coming out in a couple months.
So that, I mean, given the track record they've been doing now with delays on soundtracks, yeah. So any other things to add regarding this episode of King Oger?
I like the mecha, like the exosuits, how basically whoever's like piloting it, their mecha like changes the powers of the King Oger, because Yanma was in control, so the dragonfly made it so it could fly. I thought that was really interesting. So I'm curious to see what other ones. And I I don't know how I feel about the pill bug. Like, I like a good flail as a weapon. I love a good mace on a chain. But
It was
I-
hinted at earlier in the episode too.
yeah,
So I just wanted to point
Yep.
something out because this
You
was
need the shiny.
yeah. So someone mentioned this on my Discord, and I was just like, Yanma, but you know, his shiny is conveniently blue, and
Oh,
you know he learns Gust as soon as he hatches, and at level 1, and it's a stab move. I'm like, look, it writes itself. It writes itself. Yanma learns Gust instantly, level 1, blue shiny, and it's a stab move. Come on. There is no way. This just instantly like writes itself. It's great. It's like, did y'all really just take this from Pokemon? I don't know, but I'm like, it's
I'm
too
looking
ironic.
forward to all the deep dive videos people are going to start doing now because of this.
Oh my god. Oh, I do have
Can't
something
wait
to
to
bring up.
see.
It is well, this isn't just my thing. It's like I think Zio and I talked about this earlier on the Discord about how very convenient the attacks are in timed with like Raculus's speeches, like from the
That's true.
Yeah, I brought that up too. Yeah, I mean, the blimp shows up right after Death Narak, the 8th, leaves.
It really does seem like Raculus is in cahoots with the Bugnarok just completely. It's too well timed. They want the same thing, and it's just like he just sits back, lets the ride play out, and then just tries to lay the seeds in terms of like infiltration and things like that, and try and sow doubt into people. So yeah, if he's not working with the Bugnarok, I would be completely shocked. But I really think that's the way that it's going.
I really
Like-
hope we also see that bike again. That bike looked
Oh
really
yeah,
cool.
that
in
was
this
really
episode.
cool. That caught me off guard. I had to like rewind it because I was like,
Yeah.
"Where'd that come from?" And I was like,
It
I
came
didn't
out
know
of
it
his
was
Exactly.
head.
Where did that come from?
open. I
His
was like,
head.
"Oh."
It came out of the head.
Yeah, I had to rewind it. And I was
I
like,
didn't
"Okay."
even know that existed until I saw it, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
I saw the
that
toys for
existed.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a lot of people have been using that picture, and some of the people on the Discord have used it as their new picture overall. So it's kind of hard not to notice it.
Yeah,
Mm.
I hope everyone gets their own form of vehicle, maybe, but it might just be a Gira thing. You never know.
I mean, they could end up just maybe their own shoe gods have a detachable like vehicle that goes along with it. So
Possibly.
we
Ooh, that
don't
would be
know.
Cool.
Also,
And if we get all 5 of them riding on motorcycles at the end, I'm just like, oh man, Kamen Rider, you guys got to step up your game. What is going on here?
this, if for any season more than any, this is one of the seasons I'm very excited to see what a team power up is going to look like for them.
Would that even exist though? Like, I feel like it would be like a red power up instead, and they wouldn't have like a team power up.
You never know. They're all kings, so I feel like it would make sense for each of them to get their own, version of whatever the power up is this season.
listen, I'm just saying, if they all get bikes, I'm renaming the show Osama Sentai King Rider, and it's like I'm already like pre-ordered so much stuff, so I don't want them to get bikes or power ups because like I already got the X Mecha, which I don't do. I'm not Sentai. I don't buy the mechas. And now I got Red on the way. I got the mini plow on the way. I got the Udos, and now I'm like, do I want to buy this red?
Can I give you
motorcycle?
a quick little fun story, Mark, that you might enjoy?
Does it involve me spending money?
It doesn't involve you spending money, but it
I'll go
involves
right on ahead then.
convincing people to spend money.
Ooh, my favorite.
Just before this stream, it is 3 a.m. in Austria at the moment, and there's a certain someone on the Discord we managed to convince to not only buy the Giro plushie, but the axe and shield as well.
Nah, he did that to himself.
Not
honestly.
only just about an hour ago.
He's trying to go from
Wow.
the crown. This is a
He
personal.
may
threat
or may
now.
not be near 900 on the TokuTonic.
He's. I was at that by like the first week of February. So
Jamkel asked maybe to each king a quest, and that's how they would get their power ups.
That would be
I
nice
would
to see.
like that.
Ooh.
I would like it.
I want more king tropes in this show. So that would be really cool, like a King's Quest type.
While
thing.
Sam says, I'd like it to be one shared person powered up, meaning it's a power up that is shared between them all.
Oh,
So similar to Cure Majors, if I remember, like with the Phoenix.
Well, no, all of them power up with the Phoenix. I think it's more like
A Shinkenger?
Ninja or Shinkenger.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so good ideas in terms of that.
Maybe
So
we'll get an Arthurian, like pull the sword from the stone or lake for like the 6 or something. Who knows?
I was about to say, if you were going to say that the power up was going to be they get a new sword, then
No, God, no! I
They
don't
get a
want
big
that.
crown.
And then
They get a
speaking of
crown on
new
the helmet.
sword,
That's like real
speaking of new
soldier
sword,
stuff.
we
I
saw
hated
it, didn't we?
yeah, Raculus is already showing off the new bling
Yeah,
conveniently. Like no idea where he got it from. Just pulled it right from his ass, and
Picked
he's
it up along
ready.
the way.
Yep.
you see, there was something up there this whole time, and that's why he's been an evil dude, and now it's finally out.
Oh yeah. It's kind of like Ace pulling a power up out of not just his
I
ass,
don't want
but
to talk about it.
his past
Yeah, me
selves'
neither.
asses,
Oh,
which means we gotta talk about Geek.
Oh God.
Do you want to kick me out now, Zio?
No, because I feel like this debate needs to... Look, a lot of people were completely shitting in my comments about me saying that he pulled this power up straight from his ass. Look, he pulled it straight from not just his ass, but like I said just now, his own past selves' asses as well. Like,
No, he pulled it from Kawa's ass.
he did.
He stole that buckle from Kawa.
Because
Stay well alone. Leave him out of this.
Yeah.
No, because Kawa was the one with the boost buckle. No one else had it. How did
and
he
then
get
Ace
that?
suddenly had it.
Exactly. He pulled
And
that
not
out of
just
nowhere.
one, but 5 more. Like 4
4
more.
From
I'm just gonna
space.
say- I'm just gonna say before we get too deep into it, I was hoping when the boost Mark II was done, it would have split off of the belt and went into 5 different ones, and all 5 flew at Kawa. I wish that.
Oh
would've
my
happened.
God, that
would've
would have
Oh
been
my
great.
God.
Fantastic.
It would have
They
been the same
would've-
finishing attack, and two. It was like, oh, that would have been hilarious.
They would have taken that man's money and everything.
I think the boost buckle's true purpose is just to beat up on Kawa. Like,
Yeah.
the day Kawa dies is the day the boost buckle ceases to exist because it loses.
Yeah. The thing with that is like as out of random as that power up came from, it is a very visually appealing suit. But that
It is.
transformation
Oh, yeah.
is the worst I've seen for any super form to date. That is the
Any
horrible
super form?
transformation.
Annie.
No. But for a lot of them.
All right, I was gonna say, I was like, let's not say things we can't take back. Cause
Okay, because there are a few that are worse
Exhibit
than
A, some
That-
Saber stuff.
I was about to say there is one in Saber, and I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
But it is a bad transformation, at least in my opinion. You can, sorry.
No. So yeah, I think the real big talking point from this episode is the fact that we find out that Ace technically wasn't lying about having lived for over 2,000 years when he's just technically have been reincarnating for thousands of years. The thing is, it's just like they open up the whole plot device of his past selves, and if they're anything like Ace, they probably won multiple DGPs. So the wish that we saw granted likely wasn't their only wishes. So I'm just like, how many other ass pull wishes are they gonna pull from Ace's past selves? Because I'm just like, it's just like it's
Too many.
it's too much of a MacGuffin now. It's
See, I
that can of
told you.
worms have been opened.
I got into a fight with someone about this.
There's gonna be a scene where he's almost dying, and it's gonna be like the whole scene from like the end of Harry Potter, where it's like I open at the close with the freaking Philosopher's Stone, and it's like, oh, what his past self said? If Ace is ever on the brink of death, we would give him this power to help him keep going. And it's like, are you kidding me?
Also, Mark, you saw it. I had an entire fight with someone in your comment section about this.
Dude, listen, we don't talk about my comment section because like no, I was so annoyed, like, because I'm just like, don't Toku mansplain stuff to me. Like, I watched the show. I haven't reviewed it. I know what I watched on the screen. That's all I'm saying. I'm trying to be polite.
What do you mean, future selves, when it comes to Ace?
Oh God.
Oh no. We're
When you
ready
start
for
opening-
the past, not the future.
Look, there's some people that are also theorizing that Jean might also end up being a future Ace now, outside of all that. And I'm just like, no, stop it. Stop it right now. This is the end. This is crazy.
The trouble is, I think Jean's gonna die next episode.
Hopefully,
I really
Like-
wish.
he's kind of creepy. Honestly, that tablet has way too many Geet stickers on it.
I don't like that, man.
So the thing is, it's like, how did everybody else feel about the power up, the ass pull that went along with it? And Nexus, I'm gonna give you a chance to speak first.
Okay, when I saw the photo of him like holding that boost buckle up in the sky, I already had a feeling that he's just gonna pull it out from somewhere. And yep, definitely agree that it's not good. Like, I just need more explanation, but they can't do this. Like, they can't just all of a sudden be like, oh, we can give him the final form because of all these 10 incarnations of all these wishes. No, like, we need some consistency here. And also, I think we need just more explanation in general about this whole entire reincarnation and about the Fury. Like, I do have a theory about the coin that he's holding, that it's been passed down from his many incarnations. So that's why now the current ace has it. But
But how'd he get it? Did he dig up the grave of
Yeah.
his past self?
Mhm.
Did he leave
Exactly.
it somewhere?
There's a difference
for-
between a descendant and a reincarnation. There's two different. Those are two different things.
It's just really confusing. Like, it's not great, and I hoped we get some more explanation in a ways, but since he just got his super form, I don't think we're going to get an explanation until Niram explains it, because it looks like he definitely knows something.
Which is another thing that I'm still like a little iffy about, is just the fact that Niram has been the game producer since God knows how long, but he was well aware that there were 4 of the exact same wishes done with people of very similar names, and we know that he has the ability to void wishes from even happening, because they even said, why didn't you void Ace's wish this time? And he was just like, well, I'd like to see how this goes, type thing. But he didn't think, you know, all of these seem very similar. I think I'm just gonna void one of these, or whatnot, and see what happens. But he didn't do anything, and then he just acts shocked. Just looks like, now it just happened. Come on now. Like, you're playing this so dumb in terms of like that aspect for a villain. So I don't know if anybody else has a different interpretation on it.
In defense of Niram, we don't know the consequences in the terms of the goddess of creation if they cancel a wish. We don't know what kind of consequences there would be.
I also don't. Oh, sorry.
So that's what they. But I also feel like this is gonna, like, the coin thing is never gonna make any sense no matter how they explain it. I think it's just gonna be a plot hole. I think it's gonna be something, and if they do, it's gonna be something that's asinine that can make sense but doesn't really like matter. I think it's a throwaway thing. I think they were like, oh, it looks cool if you flip this coin from Greek mythology, from Greek times, like ancient Greece. Like, oh yeah, cool, I'll flip a coin then.
Because mysteries.
Yeah, it's not the first time we've had throwaway plot points, and just because Geats has been really good compared to other Reiwa era shows, does not mean it's going to be perfect without plot issues. And someone said Council of Aces. No, we're going Batman. It's the Court of Aces, and they all wear fox masks.
Then who's Hush?
Like eyes wide shut, but without.
Oh, so they're really Anbu Black Ops at that point.
Yeah.
All right. No, so the thing is, when it comes to the coin in general, I didn't go into this in my review, but I was thinking more of like Buddha and how he's supposed to be like forever reincarnated, and the way that religions determine whether or not you are the reincarnation of Buddha is that you're able to pick up the exact item that the previous reincarnation had. So I was of the thought process that that's possibly what they're trying to allude to now with the Greek coin, is just that Ace knew that belonged to his past self and just, found the trinket, and it's been like a reoccurring thing in terms of like unlocking his past memories from his previous selves. But Ash, I'll let you go ahead and speak regarding your thoughts on this episode and that power up.
Like, the form looks cool, but I'm hoping we get a better explanation of how he got it. Because how long has Niram been the producer for? Have they said that he's
Not
been the
been
producer?
said.
No.
Yeah, because I'm wondering if there was like another producer that didn't really catch on and just let it slide or something like that, that didn't think that Ace was going to be this much of a threat. But once again, like, he's like, oh, let's not stop Ace. We've got to stop Ace. Oh, okay, we got to stop this. So I'm wondering if we'll like see what's going on, and seeing how there's all these reincarnations is fucking weird. But we'll see. We'll see where it goes from here. Like, kind of an ass pull, like how we got the power up, but we'll see what happens.
Hashtag Girori was right. Girori was right.
I hope
You're
there's not
right.
too much
I wish he
reincarnation
comes
stuff.
back.
Oh, Zio,
I hope,
speaking of
I hope nothing
Girori,
else is reincarnation because there's too much reincarnation stuff, and I have a strict no isekai like manga anime in my life. So if there's more reincarnation stuff, I may have to stop watching. I don't do reincarnation stuff. It's like, oh, that time I got reincarnated as a common writer. It's like, nope.
wait, do you mean
It's kinda like
isekai?
reincarnated
Isekai,
place.
yeah, that's the one. That's the
Sorry.
same word. Same word spelled the same way. I
No
didn't say
problem.
it differently. I'm not from an
It's
island.
all good. I'm sorry.
So yeah, Mark, any other thoughts that you had regarding this episode? Like all this these shenanigans?
Okay, we can't gloss over the fact that Michinaga knew that Toru was basically using Toru, because I had this whole theory that like Baroba was using Toru, like the Jamato Toru, to like manipulate Michinaga, but really he's just like, I was just using it to get to Geats. I'm not saving you. And when he turned his back on him, I was like, oh.
I was happy that was the case.
The thing is,
Yeah.
I don't think that was the case, because the thing is, like, you see a moment in Azuma's character when Daichi points out the fact that he is befriending him, and you just see like a look in his face, like, ah, shit, you're right.
Yeah.
That's why in my review I was like, I pressed the whole X to doubt thing during that scene, because it's just like he planted that seed.
Well, even 2 minutes earlier when he handed him the bread, he had that genuine smile, and I was like, I think this is the first time I've seen him smile this whole entire season.
It's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
So I don't think that he was actually playing him. It's something that he just made the decision to, because he didn't like Daichi's attitude. He was like the fan base already hating Daichi. He was like, I don't like your face. I don't like the fact that you're being right now. So I'm gonna prove you wrong. Fuck you, Toru. You're just a houseplant. And that's exactly how he did it.
That was a good scene whenever they did the reflection constantly with Toru, and I was like, I really like that from like a filming style. And it's almost every time they were in a scene together, there was some sort of reflection in one of the scenes, and I was like, I like that because he's not really Toru.
Real quick, what do you guys think about Mary Sue protagonists in Kamen Rider? Well, the thing is, it can be done right. I mean, just look at Tendo Soji and Kabuto. Like, technically, like a lot of people were trying to allude to the fact of that this is very similar to when he got the Hyperzector in Kabuto. The thing is, we got a movie called Godspeed Love that came out around the same time that episode did, that kind of gave us the explainer to how that power-up was gonna end up being a thing, versus here where they plant the seed the episode and pay it off that episode, which
I
is
didn't watch that.
an issue that I have on here. But how do you guys feel when it comes to Mary Sue protagonists? I'll open floor on this one.
I mean, I love them. You know what my favorite season of Rider is?
Yeah.
I mean, it's done right. It works.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not one of those things where it's like I'm going to lose sleep over it, even if it doesn't work. I mean,
I guess the problem is when like it comes at like there's no consequence to them, because you know that they're always going to pull some shit out of their ass. So like the tension's not there anymore. Which the difference with Tendo is that there were stakes. He did mess up from time to time, and he paid for it every now and again. With Geats, he doesn't seem to be able to be possible for him to make a mistake. It like he cannot be punished because he has an out every time.
Well, that's the thing. It's building up to the fact that there will be a point where if it happens, anyways, we don't know. When that moment does happen, it's gonna be more impactful. True. I'd rather have that than a character that's like, who like I'm trying to find myself, or why am I not strong? Like, I hate those long drawn out arcs where it's just a protagonist that doesn't know who they are or learning to use their power. It's like after a while you're just like, okay, like you have power, can you like get good, please? Like,
it's true.
Why you suck?
The trouble is that Geats' character was always like been at the start of him always being the best. So I'm trying to see if there's like any development in his character of like when he breaks down and he realized that he's not the best player, but it's just him just like always being the best and always just whacking everyone's like just able to beat everyone. So I'm just like I wish there is some time when he broken down like completely in a ways. And maybe it will happen with the reveal of his mom, but I'm just waiting for that moment.
Yeah, I can't wait for Mitsume to show up wearing a white dress, and then we see a black dress Mitsume, and then there's two of them, and then we're like, oh my god!
And then they both slap Geets in the face.
and then they merge like Big Venus at the end of Big O, and then we enter a time loop. All right,
his mom is reincarnation of the boost buckle.
Oh my!
or she reincarnated into the boost buckle,
Oh,
and Kay was just reincarnated. Kay was just a reincarnation of the big bad of the past, and that's the reason why the boost buckle always goes after him.
oh God! I hope it's not true. Oh, speaking of which, why is it now of all times? Like when he asks for the power up, that he just gets it? Because like these wishes have been a thing for a long time. There's several times where he could have used this earlier, or
that they could have activated during past lives.
Exactly. So why is it now? Why is it exactly this situation?
Plot.
I know. I'm just
Listen, I know you're a young lad, Cloudy, as the elder.
Young lad.
Age.
I think I'm the youngest here, and
he was the one who did. You did
talking to Cloudy.
He's talking about me compared to him
as a positive male role model in your life.
Thank you.
I'm gonna inform you that plot armor, these plot as a reasoning has been going on for eons.
Oh, I know.
There's this one movie I watched called Brave Little Toaster.
Even oh my God!
No, I'm not going to go into my Brave Little Toaster dissertation right now. We don't have enough time.
And there's me just not understanding what the hell is happening.
Oh no, the plot has been like, listen, it's been overused so much. So like, whatever something happens for plot, you know what? I just like, plot.
The plot needed it too. That's why it happened. Let's basically it.
No, so the other thing about this form is that it's supposed to be the quote unquote like berserker form of the season that we keep seeing, so much so in recent series, and they kind of play it off and kind of allude to it in this episode when he transforms into it. You hear the echoes in Ace's voice, alluding to the fact that he's now not just in control of his body, but his past selves are also possibly there. Which is why at the end of the episode, we didn't see him untransform. He stayed transformed, which is probably going to allude into the bigger plot point that we'll see next episode, and probably why he's going to need the laser rays buckle to be able to change out of that form. But the thing is, like, lately, I know that these plot points end up being a two episode note.
So tomorrow, this weekend only, that it's done.
Yeah. And then we'll probably never see Boost Mark II again, except for like a one-off type thing. Or it's going to end up being a repaint or reskin for someone else to use down the line.
I feel like
that explains the other form now. The one with the laser, razor, riser, and the Boost Mark II. Because Gene will probably go up his little henchman device for Ace to control the form.
That's what I'm saying. He's gone. Like, Gene is gone.
Stupid.
It's really annoying.
I'm going to watch it, though.
Some of the better like suits are like the raw berserker forms, like in Saber. That what's it called? I keep forgetting the name of the form, but what is
Jack Revice as well?
Primitive Drag.
One of the best
suits.
Yeah, one of the best suits in Revice.
Absolutely fantastic suits. And
became disgusting.
Then they add a suit over it, or like a color theme over it, and then it absolutely ruins what was a very good suit. Which is why I feel like these berserker suits are like not entirely made with like a full suit in mind for because it really doesn't like mesh well when they get quote unquote fixed. The only
Samurai Pizza Cat, it's going to be a Samurai Pizza Cat. I called it before.
The only one that looks decent when it gets fixed is zero ones, because they didn't do anything to the suit. They just gave him a sword.
Is Mark awkwardly frozen for everybody else?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, he is.
Damn. Okay.
And now he's back.
Okay. I was just this man was frozen for a while. He was not moved by your speech, Cloudy.
It's not really a speech. It's like just a mini rant. It's just like I'm tired of seeing these really good suits ruined, and I'm hoping that whatever the laser rays buckle does to Boost Mark II is something that can also be undone, so maybe he could switch in between the two. God, I hope, please, I'm begging you.
I mean,
I like
right now it's the best suit, and I'm just like, no, it's gonna get ruined. But yeah, Nexus. Before I cut you off,
yeah. No, because I like how they did the revolve on and actually went into like the actual like the CGI fox. That one I liked.
I fuck with that.
But then how it was able to like beat all five of those pillars, I was like, okay, that's a bit too OP, but it's the first episode,
Nah,
first
it's a
debut.
debut.
I was just like, I'll take that then.
Yeah, the debut of anything is usually OP as fuck.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Like I brought up the power scaling. He's gonna be OP now, but like the last episode before this one, he was as Magnum boost, he was holding off Buffa in the twin command form.
With the
And I
sword.
was, and I was just like,
gotta bring up Ronin Warriors Jam Cal, another great classic.
Ooh.
Yep, going old school with that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's like I don't understand the power scaling at all this season because it's like Twin Command was so powerful.
Oh no, Mark,
Oh,
you're
you're
Oh
robotic.
no,
losing him.
we're
We're
losing
losing
him.
fiber.
Mark, are you
Get your
okay?
refund. Get a refund.
Get him fiber internet quickly.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh, right.
Oh no!
Everybody sees the display picture of Mark circa 10 years ago.
Dang, I actually like that picture though.
This is
He
my
looks
first time
nothing like he
seeing
does
it.
now.
True, but it looks nice.
All right, Ash, what did you think about like the Berserker form aspect of this and how you think it's going to get remedied within the next episode or two?
Oh yeah, shit, it might. It's gonna suck to see it go because it does look like a really cool form. But everyone was sort of speculating, hearing all those voices, that it could be all those reincarnations. But did we see much of the BR of the new form in the next episode preview?
To be honest, not much.
Yeah, not much. So maybe they might drag it on a little bit. You never know. But like you guys said, this does last like 2 episodes, so we'll see what happens. But it would be sad to see the suit go because I do like the design. But we'll see how the laser razor belt buckle power thingy will work with it.
Absolutely, Mr. Cool Guy Awesome. Absolutely, I hate the Thunder Gale way more. Way more. It's not even a contest. Absolutely hate that form. And
He's
Mark's
back.
Thunder Gale's ass.
welcome back.
What happened there?
Internet's been acting up because we're doing all this like stuff in the area, and I'm like, well, I pay a lot, so it
He's
should
low
be
on
okay.
fiber.
Yep, he's low on fiber.
Oh, that's sad.
that
Oh,
dietary
fiber.
fiber is gone.
It's all too much protein, no fiber.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, what were you saying before you glitched into the Matrix?
Oh, the whole power scaling. I'm still trying to figure out for the suits because like Geet's Magnum was holding off Buffa Twin Command, and then next thing you know, Buffa doesn't have Twin Command anymore. And I'm just trying to figure out like all
He's
these
being the
different-
shit out of Gates this episode, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
how?
I don't get it. I don't understand the power scaling anymore.
I mean, it's always been a thing. I always like reference, don't go by anything Kamen Rider Wiki says in terms of like how many tons they kick or punch. It doesn't matter. You're gonna job when you job, and you're gonna win when you win, and that's the way it works because of plot. So
Mhm.
If you want to talk bad power scale and look at Saber,
I won't, but you can, and you did.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm still doing it.
I could have enough free time to talk about the power scaling issues in Saber.
We don't have. That's a long conversation.
I will say I want a true Berserk form. I feel like the Railway era Berserk forms aren't really like, to me, aren't feeling like Berserk forms.
Really, I thought Primitive Dragon was pretty good.
Primitive Jack, that's it, yeah. But like, I mean, Jack Revice wasn't Berserk, but I mean, that suit was amazing.
Well, technically, it was
01
with
was-
with Vice, but
Well,
yeah,
it wasn't
I can
Berserk
see
though.
where
He
you're
was
going.
pretending to protect Icky. He was pretending. He's like, "Ooh, I'm crazy. Oh, let's go to the
It's
arcade."
not
And it's like,
really Berserk. It's more like he wasn't in control, if anything.
Look, I'm not dissing it. I'm just saying I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
I only
Yeah.
watched up to 8 episodes,
I
and that's
watched
all
it.
it got for me.
I definitely watched it from start to finish twice.
I have as well, and I enjoyed it.
I
a
have watched
lot
it
the second
once,
time.
but I need a big recap because I forgot most of what I watched. So
Okay, a lot
treat,
of writers,
treat
big
me as like
swords.
0.
Yep.
The whole King of Arthur stuff was thrown away in like.
Has Marcos
one
done a
episode.
history of yet for
No,
Saber? Okay.
No.
Wow.
Yuri is the best character in the show. And Rentaro.
So any last thoughts when it comes to this episode of Geats?
Can we talk about the kid getting the Oni belt and magically his mom is right there?
Oh yeah.
Oh, the cool.
And how delicious the takoyaki was, and I didn't know Kawa can cook that good.
Yeah.
Takoyaki.
Oh yeah, also like the
I'm
return
craving.
of like his sister and John, they're just there, and it's just like, they've been saying that, the world seems to be more aware of these Jamatos and stuff, and y'all are just here chilling. Any input? No? No? Okay, all right.
Also, Nexus, I think in this case, it would be correct to say it's Tokuyaki.
Oh, okay.
I actually went and
Fine.
got some after I watched the episode. I was like, I was fiending for it. I was like, I should probably go get some because that's
Yeah,
that's
I need
delicious.
to go and
Missed
get some.
opportunity. That's what I should have named this live stream is, missed opportunity.
Sorry.
Tokuyaki.
Always next time.
Yeah, someone else will steal that
Tokuyaki.
name. It's free real estate, y'all.
Toku-yaki.
I'll steal
Yeah.
it. Don't worry.
Okay. I look forward to your 2 watchers.
Thank you.
But yeah, kid's mom showing up at the end. I was like, he's over here just talking so much about his mom just being in the hospital, all this stuff, and conveniently she's been out of the hospital. Technically, if she could walk her ass there to the festival, and the kid was just like, "Where you been at? Oh, at the festival? Okay, cool. But your mom's been fine this whole time." Like, not even brought out in a wheelchair or something. Like, it would make more sense if they like brought her out in a wheelchair. But it's just like, nah, she's just fine walking. Just
We don't even
whatever.
know what she was like sick of. Like
No,
what
no, she had sickitis.
She was
She
sick
had-
as shit.
Sickitis.
Had Toku sickness.
She needed a
She had
break. She's like, I'm tired of this.
Yeah, she had
Yes,
plot,
kid.
plot sickness.
Character development
Mhm.
sickness.
Oh, I do have one last thing to say about this episode. Can we talk about Ace Garfield?
Yes.
Why he hates Mondays. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, go
I know
ahead.
he-
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's the past names for Ace are very interesting because it at least shows you the different eras that he's competed in. So that's
Looks
an
like there
interesting
was
one.
a Chinese error as well because I saw Ace
Ace
Lee and I
Lee,
was
yeah,
like,
with
I
the
was
L.I.,
like,
yeah.
excuse me? Okay.
He's gonna
But
come out dressed like a Tekken character.
so this would at least explain like why he would have the Greek coin because that's probably one of his first ones. But it's
But I don't think it's any of the ones that we see on there because if it was I'm just like, no, that doesn't sound like a
No,
Greek
no.
name.
It's a
Sorry, that
caveman
was-
before they had full
that-
names.
no, that was the Happy Days. era.
Like I said, it has to be like Asius Ukiois if that's gonna be like
Oh
the
my
name.
goodness.
There it is. That's the ancient Greek name for Ace.
There.
But
If that's
yeah,
what happened, I'd be pissed.
Oh, yeah.
it's gonna be
like,
the
all
same
right.
actor rocking a toga. That's it.
I'm just gonna be like, all right, who's your inside source at Toei?
Yo,
Put me
it's
in
just gonna be a
contact with him.
Japanese guys in these.
Yeah, nothing but Japanese guys
In the samurai
like,
suits.
Yeah. I can't wait to see how Japanese people were in feudal China.
or caveman era. Caveman era was nothing but. I mean, if Blade taught me anything, it's that the first human was a Japanese guy that looks like Hajime. So,
That is true.
Mm.
like, the secret sauce has been there the whole time.
Can we
It's
quickly
just-
not
yeah.
talk about Hajime as I rewatch Geo and there's stuff about that I don't want to talk about.
It just gets ruined.
I haven't watched
Yeah.
Blade, so I really don't understand what you guys are talking about. So
Don't worry
yeah.
about
Oh, watch
We're talking
Blade.
about
Watch
perfection.
Blade.
Yeah, watch
I
Blade.
will figure out and find some time, but it's something
wait,
called real
Zio.
life stuff.
Can you put this in chat as like a quick poll if you don't mind? This is just
Yeah.
my own request.
Aren't you a mod on my thing? You can
No,
make
you've
chat.
never made me a mod.
Ooh,
No,
ouch.
next,
It's okay.
Ah,
So
I
Can you
won't
do-
do it ever anymore.
I mean, I don't think you ever were. Can you do round 0 versus what's it called?
Elements?
you don't
Yeah,
even know the names of the
Oh
song.
my.
it's
Better
I
Blade.
have.
OP.
Sorry, I'm getting my head's starting to get really
Listen.
warm.
You
Mine
need
too,
to
out
take
of
some
anger.
meds, Cloudy. Take some
I already
meds.
did. I'm on a lot of meds.
Okay, I am asking it right now. Better Blade OP, round 0 or elements when
Oh,
it comes to it.
Started on
Which-
Blade stuff because I don't talk about how he slapped Decade around like a little bitch.
He did.
So, speaking of openings, Trust Last had its full music video now out.
Oh,
Ah, yes,
and
trust.
It was also like I got it. I
Mine
got
is still
Hey, the
being
CD.
shipped.
It came with the buckle, right?
Yeah, I came with the buckle.
Yep, I got it right here.
Ah,
So-
you got the
and
trust
black.
ass buckle.
Exactly that. And I'll stop before I get copyright struck.
Hit 3 seconds. Hit 3 seconds.
I mean, the beginning's not bad. It's just the rest of the song doesn't seem like it was made with
No,
the
the
first
first like
part of the
45
song.
seconds are so nice.
Yeah,
I think
Yeah,
we
but
had
then
this
the music
discussion last
video.
week.
I never saw the music video.
The music video
Just
has
don't watch it.
it doesn't feature any of the artists at all whatsoever.
I'm
What
not
you
going
see in
to
that
watch
preview
it.
video is essentially what you're gonna get. You're gonna get Geets, you're gonna get Buffa, you're gonna get Tycoon in the background.
Mhm.
Tycoon's pretty much a cut throughout the entire music video as Buffa and Geets are fighting with not well timed choreography either.
Ah,
It's not even that great, and I was just disappointed by the entire music video in itself.
I wonder how the Twitter fans are gonna react to the fact that if this is true, that makes Buffa the tertiary writer and Nago is like the fourth writer, if anything.
I feel sad. I don't like that.
Nah, Buffa's main character.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
main character status.
Kay was secondary.
Getting a
Mhm.
lot of character development recently, especially more than Neon, because
No,
I don't even
Michinaga.
know what's going on between her and her supporter right now.
Michinaga's been
Was
like
it Ghostwriter?
my
Like
favorite
the
for a
little
while now.
show with the typewriter typed up stuff and appeared on a little piece of paper? That's all her supporter is.
We'll see
Mm.
how that plot line ends up.
Dude, her
Paying
plotline
off.
revolves more around her father than her. Like, what do you think about it? All the stuff we want to know about it has
Yes.
to do with her father.
Dad
Nothing
fire.
Yeah,
about
because he
her.
made the wish.
Daddy
Oh,
time fire.
Yep,
Dad
yep.
fire.
Time
Like everything
Daddy.
involving her is very linear, like
He's
it's
like,
straightforward. She
hold
wants to
on.
find true love. That's it. But her dad's the one who has all the depth to the story. So it's like she doesn't even really
Mhm.
have much character
If-
stuff going on.
If the sponsors, except for Zin, all have like weird CGI like forms and stuff, if Dad Fire ever has a CGI form, I want it to be the V Rex, please.
That's a big.
The V Rex, please.
Also, I find it funny how like we know that there's other sponsors besides the Kurama Foundation because of course we saw with Punk Jack Wynn's like grandfather being a sponsor as well for the DGP, but for some reason Niram only hangs around Time Daddy, and that's it.
Also, why aren't they? Isn't
Yep.
his grandpa upset that they killed his grandson?
Nah, he was useless anyway.
Yeah, I didn't like him.
we
anyway.
don't
That was a
talk
lot of
about
shit.
Punk Jack.
He gave
We
him the
just
job.
Don't talk about.
Fair enough.
Also,
Fair enough.
don't forget, Cloudy, the dad is not a supporter since he's a sponsor. Like, I don't think he has a form.
I know he's a sponsor, not a supporter. I just meant like if he ever became a supporter, I want that.
Probably get a different
want
version of the Vision Driver. What if he becomes the next Game Master?
Oh.
That could
Ooh,
That could be cool.
that could be cool.
Although, for what I'm seeing, the next Game Master is probably going to be Beroba.
this would be Punk Jack.
Isn't it already? Because since she's technically the
With
Game
Yamato
Master
Grand
of the
Prix,
Yamato
yeah.
Grand
Yeah.
Prix, yeah.
Yep. That's what I mean. We're going to see her transform with the Vision Driver, though. Right?
Can we talk about like boring the Yamato Grand Prix kind of is? It's like so small scale. Like there's no grandeur to it. It's just like, oh, go to this little tiny festival and destroy it and get points.
There's also no
Get points for
barrier
fucking shit
anymore.
up.
There's no more
Yeah.
barrier.
And that's the entire thing that they mentioned in this in the previous episode, at least, is just that the Yamato presence in terms of like
Yeah.
people knowing about it is growing,
Yeah.
where 10% of the population is aware of the Yamato. So it's just like, yeah, they can't keep this under wraps because the jammer area is now the whole fucking thing.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, what if it's the whole thing? Why are you just attacking one little village? I would go to like a shopping mall or like an airport or something.
Ooh.
Go to
Also,
a different country where they
I have-
won't be at.
I have a very weird tangent to ask about. Why isn't Archimetal pissed off at Beroba at all? Like, we know Archimetal's deal is that he's tired of losing and tired of having his, Yamato lose and die over and over again. Yet he's working with the lady who just one-shot his whole ass garden.
Because he still has his
Hmm.
plans. He's basically
Yeah.
Sherman from Little Shop of Horrors. He still has
I-
two little bulbs left.
But I still don't know how he carried all those Yamato seedlings in the little tubes in that millisecond between, Beroba destroying the Yamato garden and then the next scene.
See,
I'm
I'm
like,
sorry,
had-
it's
how'd
the
you get those?
same reason as
Boost
how
Mark III.
George. It was the same reason as how George was able to save all of those CSM belts
still-
when the Phoenix ship
No.
He
just went
transformed-
crashing.
He swam down
Listen.
to Phoenix Base and got them bitches out.
he
As
did.
someone who has a lot of buckles, I could save a lot of mine if something went down.
I'm just
Trust me,
saying,
priorities. PS5 in one pocket, the CSMs all I look like Chewbacca with all the bullets. There's just belts all over me.
I'm just saying, Archimetal probably has his own version of Boost Mark II. Used it to stop time. Went in there, grabbed the.
They're called plot plants. It's plot
Exactly.
device. Everything's just
Yeah.
plot. That's all it is,
He
really.
used his plot buckle.
Plot buckle. Oh my.
He had a plot of land.
Exactly.
Also, how did he survive the explosion? Well, I'm still the belief that all these future folks are just avatars. Like, they're not real.
Yeah.
They're legit, like, synthetic beings just existing within this simulation.
Gene
And that's why
basically
how he survived.
confirmed that because he
Yeah.
said you could like design everything about your life predetermined and however you want, or not Gene, Kakura. He was like, yeah, do you like
Yeah.
the way I look? I designed it.
Yep. You
Yeah.
like my human form?
Yeah.
Yep.
He's
Yeah, so
really
I'm
good
just
at
like,
ball.
they're really just avatars. So, but yeah, speaking of all those drivers, I got my 26th driver in the mail today.
Hey.
Ooh,
So
They're
yes,
fancy.
so I finally got the Arc 1 driver, and I was surprised that this thing kind of is built like a CSM in a way because it's got so many like buttons on here for dialogue options and sound effects and things like that that the 01 driver that was stolen by my future self didn't have. So I'm just like, well, this is a nice replacement for all that stuff. So on the shelf it goes.
I like
It's a
it
good-
until
it's a
it's
good driver.
stolen again by another future self.
I'll fight that one. I've unlocked Burning Form. I can fight. Oh shit, my future self probably has Shining Form though.
Yeah, it's true. He
Oh
probably.
no.
It's a future bit. Future
Yeah.
bit.
You're like taking notes like a shining form
Well,
future.
Your house catches fire and you can only save one piece of Toku merch. What would it be? This question I pose to everybody. But I'm gonna look over here and Mark, you go first while I look and see which one I'll save.
Buy a
Mark-
complete CSM for Kamen Rider Blade, the complete edition one. Not even because that's the most expensive Toku piece of merch I have. It's factory sealed.
Yeah,
bought
my
28
Agito Alter Ring would be my thing because I'm just like, look, that's $300. That's
But
my
mind
most expensive out of all of them.
But
Taking that one.
I also have the wife. The wife has arms too. So you're saying what I can grab? I can only grab one piece. She can grab totes. So I have to
Oh my.
get totes.
Grab totes.
What about you, Deoxy? What are you grabbing?
Like in Theo's room or
In your
No,
room?
your own collection.
If you want
like
like
that one too.
you can only save one piece of Toku merch in your possession.
oh shit,
Which one are you saving?
that's a
I'll-
tough one. Like
I'll give
because
my
I don't
answer.
know a lot. I don't like. I honestly don't know a lot.
See, it makes it easier.
Can I give you Nexus's answer?
No, why?
Well, because I know what your answer is.
Go ahead.
I mean, it's probably your what's it called, the evil live changer. I keep
The
forgetting the name of it.
two-side driver.
The
Yeah.
two-side driver.
It's my
That's a
first
good
ever
driver.
driver that I bought, so it will have to be that one because my collection's not that big. I only have two drivers. I only have that and then the desired driver. So yeah, I would have to save that.
The driver
I
only
have-
catches L's. You're gonna die in that fire if you grab that one. I forbid you from grabbing that one. You're gonna
Mark.
die in those flames.
But
I have a
Oh, it's
question.
so sweet. You don't
Well,
want me to
to
die.
answer the what about Zio's room, I'm taking the Danoni Taijin.
Oh my
Aw, you
god!
bitch.
And not even future Mark, present day Mark.
Oh
Damn!
my god.
Damn.
We're not doing past, present, and future. Oh my god.
All right, so Cloud had a question. What is the question?
About mine depends on would you count it as one if it's they're not exactly the same toy, but they're a package, they're a pair.
Well, it says one piece though.
Yeah, one
My-
piece of Toku merch.
That's like me being like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm just gonna grab
Fine, I'm grabbing the ultimate falchion sword.
as you
Okay.
should.
I have to. I have the driver, but I guess the sword has to come first.
The good thing is I keep receipts, so for insurance claims, I'm getting all that back if there's a fire.
That'll
And then some.
That's very smart. Keeping
Emotional
receipts.
damage.
And if
Stephen
someone else lit your house on fire, you get all their money too.
They wouldn't have money; they'd be dead.
Mhm.
All right, so moving on to the next topic. And Ash, I will let you lead this one. There was apparently the synopsis of Power Rangers Once and Always has been put out. And I know that
Yeah.
you already covered it with a video. So if you could tell us a little bit about it so we can go ahead and discuss.
Let me bring it up real quick because it's
All right.
been a while. Let me just scroll through tweets. This might take a while.
All right. Well.
All right,
Ash
found
is
it,
doing
found
that.
it, found
Oh,
it.
there you go. Never mind then.
Oh, you got it. See?
Damn.
Okay, so Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always. It's going to be 55 minutes if you guys have forgotten, but the synopsis is after tragedy strikes, an unlikely hero takes her rightful place amongst the Power Rangers to get revenge on the team's oldest arch nemesis.
You think that's Robo Rita?
Nah,
Yeah.
nah.
No,
No,
it's
it's Wooden Zed.
it's wouldn't
So since I don't know much about Power Rangers, this is the anniversary movie,
Yeah.
or
Yes,
Mhm.
the special that comes out in almost a month.
With no
with
trailer
the Mighty
yet.
Morphin
trailer.
cast, is it?
Yeah,
like
Uh,
half
most
of
of
the
them.
Mighty
majority of
Morphin
them.
cast.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
most of them.
Yeah.
I think obviously it's gonna be Robo Rita. I'm
Yeah.
wondering, I'm wondering how much continuity they have because, as you know, Mighty Morphin there's continuity all the way up to in space. So are they
Yeah.
gonna have the Machine Empire stuff? Is that how Robo Rita is a thing? Because like there's just so many. So I'm like wondering because it's 55 minutes. Yes, it's better than the half hour everyone was claiming before any official announcements, which makes no sense for a half hour, honestly. But 55 minutes, it's got to be a very simple and easy to follow plot. So I don't think there's going to be that much depth to it. And I don't think they're going to really keep anything from a continuity standpoint past Zeo.
Also, Ron Wasserman's coming back to do the music.
I know that's exciting.
That is exciting.
I just hope
Could've
it's
smelled
not
good.
Go Power Rangers.
I hope so too. I hope it sounds
Hope it's
good.
Go Blue Ranger Go.
Go
Oh
Yanma
my.
Gust.
He
go.
needs it. He needs it.
Dude,
Also,
he
let me
deserves
just
it.
add that 65% of the chat is wrong by saying that Round Zero is the better Blade opening.
listen, I love both. The elements are so good.
I'm just saying, 65% of y'all are wrong.
Dude, that
Elements.
guitar drop towards the end of Elements. I'm sorry, that's like peak.
Now, had you added Awakening on there, I would have curious to see what happened.
So the thing is, yeah. So just to get my 2 cents in, how do you think they're gonna like play off Trini's off-screen death then? Because it's like that opens up that entire can of worms.
Yeah. I think they'll say she died in battle or something like that. I know they're not going to show it. There was that image floating around of the car.
But that was stupid that day. I just blocked anything Power Rangers related that day because of all the stupid tweets I saw.
I don't know the full context of it, but I don't want to start drama around it.
I'll give you the cliff notes. So barely, if you look at where the filming location is, that photo is just a part of all the other photos that people have taken while they're walking around, like sightseeing.
And someone thought it was
and then
part of
someone
Power
saw it because just so happened that photo was uploaded the same time that they were over there filming the show.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, someone pulled up, they're like, this is apparently from while they're filming the show. It's like, well, I don't see any set crew around there.
Yeah, because it looked like a photography photo.
Yeah, it was just a phone. So it's like, okay, how could this be taken from the set? You would see some set pieces. Someone would have took other photos of the cast there, you know?
Yeah.
There's something to be like. I was like, no. So someone just saw it and then once again rolled with it. Some people got unnecessary hate from it because they were just like, hey, someone sent this to me saying this, and then everyone went after it. It's like it's the telephone game where you say one thing and then it changes every time. Me, I'm just like, listen, we're a month away. Why is everyone like just pumping out crap just for the analytics and the clicks on it?
Yeah. Theory video
You think-
theory video.
And even Simon debunked it and people were still spreading it around.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. But no hate against like people who were like sharing originally because it was like a weird thing to try and understand where it came from. And I do feel bad for Chris because Chris is a cool dude.
Yeah,
He didn't got any
he got a
unnecessary
lot
hate.
of
'Cause he does,
yeah. Everyone was.
yeah,
I even
he does a
felt
lot
bad
for
about
this community, so appreciate the dude. But yeah, but that photo was a thing. What were we talking about? For the car.
the like what would happen with Trini.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't
yeah,
think
yeah. Yeah, it's hard to say. Like, I get the feeling like maybe like time passed. Like it's such a can of worms talking about the death of Trini.
Mhm.
Because like they can either say that she died in battle or maybe like natural causes or something like that. But they've got to do something that's going to make men sort of like understand like how much of a legacy character that Trini was as she inherits like the Yellow Ranger powers. So we've got that going on. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Like there is a scene where they're standing around a graveyard. But we'll see what happens. Maybe they won't explain it. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll just say like time has passed and unfortunately like she passed away. So we'll see what
Or they'll
happens.
play it off as a tie-in comic. It's like read this comic to get the full context of this. Because I mean, I wouldn't put that beyond any like American media to not do something like that.
Yeah.
Got to sell books.
it's Hasbro. Hasbro doesn't do anything with pushing that. Boom is doing so good with the comics. The fact that Hasbro's not doing any cross promotion with them at all ever since freaking Shattered Grid is beyond me. And I've been on tirades about it because I'm like, these comic books are so good. Like Hasbro will release figures for them, but they won't do anything else to promote the IP.
Not even
Maybe
like
the
a
parents
free
will do it.
magazine or something with the toy purchase.
Well, we're getting a free comic. Oh yeah, it's free comic with the toy. That'd be cool. Somewhat Chest of Greatness asked about what about JDF. That was filmed before his death, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, everything was done
that's correct.
in September. They were filming in September.
So that means he's going to be in the movie? Or
Well, we don't know.
We don't know.
They might not
know.
use his clips, you know, because
Yeah.
respect to him as an actor and as a person.
Yep.
Yeah, not unmorphed. He's going to appear. I think we're going to see the suit that we've seen in like the behind the scenes trailer, and I get the feeling they'll just use voice archives and stuff like that, or get the guy who played what's his face, Trent, to voice over him.
Yeah.
Or they could, you know, probably maybe get a different actor to play that as well.
Yeah, I think they've got plenty of like audio
got a lot of
archives from
options.
Jason. Yeah.
It really just depends in terms of going forward how much of passing of the torch are they going to do in terms of like with this cast, like the older cast possibly passing it on to like their kids, since we know that Tommy's character does have children within this this continuity. So it's certainly possible that they could do a passing of the torch story for him later on down the line, unless they reboot the entire thing.
Well, they did do that with the comic Soul of the Dragon.
Yeah, which was really good. But we're glossing over one of the main plot points. Billy was sleeping with aliens.
Oh yeah, that's true.
He was fucking them.
He was
Big
indeed
time.
fucking aliens on a different
And
planet.
Should ask
I need
anything Coog
answers.
about it.
I need answers.
You got
That's
that
the-
Aquatop books.
You think we got any answers?
I want 45 minutes of that 55 minutes to be just him.
You think it's always wet, or do you think they get dry?
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I think
Asking the
Okay.
real questions here.
maybe it's the opposite. They have to get dry.
I don't know. I need to know though. Like this is the question 30 years in the making.
David
Jesus
Yost, AMA, do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Do it, you coward.
If
I'll
I
ask him at the
see
next.
you-
If I see him at a convention, I'm gonna ask him.
Yeah, David Yost, if I see you at like Oz Comic Con, that's like the first thing I'm gonna ask. Be prepared.
Yep.
great.
This is like a
Make sure you
warning
film it.
message.
Make sure you film it.
Oh, I will.
Gotta
Like,
gotta
This is
have
a
that
brand
on.
new
we need to tag
warning
him to the stream if you
for
want
the
to
next
know.
Comic Con.
But
Yeah, so someone clip that, send it to him. Be like,
Yeah.
answer these now.
But really, I don't think they're gonna go too depth with the tragedy. I think it's gonna be something tasteful, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't think it's gonna be the major plot point. I think they're keeping that was the most generic plot point they could release without giving away anything. Because they're let's face it, the amount of images that have been released is that I'm surprised this has been kept like so quiet.
The cast and crew are doing better promoting like behind the scenes with what's going on than Power Rangers Twitter has been doing.
And they're not even
Ouch.
giving away any drastic stuff either. They're doing it so well, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
Take
I was like,
notes.
dude, like Hasbro was like, dude, where's our freaking no trailer?
trailer.
We've
Trailer.
they'd even put the official poster up. Like it was
Wait, there's
on a
no
random Facebook
trailer?
page.
No, there
No
isn't.
trailer.
No, it's
there's
really
like-
just teaser
Okay, I'm
shots.
surprised.
Yeah.
yeah.
There's like a poster. We got a poster this week, which the poster's not that exciting. I mean, it's like basically like brand new like images of like the Rangers doing their Dual Ranger poses, and you've got like Robo Reader in the background, and that's about it.
And blue's in the forefront instead of
And
red.
Blue's in the forefront, which
Yep.
is cool.
Okay, as much as I love David Yost, Billy, man, they are doing Rocky dirty always.
Consistently, nonstop.
He
They
literally
always-
got injured, and Justin took over from him doing a spinning back kick, and somehow from the middle of a ring went over the ropes and landed in like completely impossible.
We watched that movie on a live stream like a month or so back, and I was just like, that is ridiculous. How do you do that?
As someone did martial arts, it's like impossible, honestly. And
Yeah.
Rocky's get like in the comics make Rocky's so good in the
Oh
comics.
yeah,
like,
I love Rocky in the comics.
he is like main character status in the comics. That's like one of the best things I can tell anyone about the comics. Like
He
read
has
the
some
comic.
good moments.
Rocky is so damn good in that comic.
Oh man, bad stuff. When does it release? April 19th, isn't it?
Yeah, 19th. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Because I know
just a
someone
little
said,
over a month.
yep, a little over a month. It's probably going to be one of the few things that as soon as it drops on Netflix, I'll probably end up just watching it as soon as it drops. It'll probably be like a 3 a.m. my time thing.
That should better be
So
in
it can
4K.
be on. So it's releasing on Netflix as well. Then that's good if it's
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
for like an
It's Netflix
international
only.
audience in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, Netflix exclusive. So
That better be
Well,
4K though.
the-
If it's not 4K, I'm gonna be mad.
It actually depends.
it's going to be
'cause
480i.
Netflix hides things depending on your region,
Dark
so
times.
it may not.
We have
First
something
one.
called VPN.
Well,
Use
yeah,
code,
but I'm
never mind.
talking about most people don't have.
That's where the Super Mario movie releases on April 5th. I already got my advanced tickets bought. I bought those like 2 days ago. Got that IMAX center. I'm
I
good.
want a
Yep,
I'm
review of that because I'm not going to see it. I think it's
Seeing
gonna be
Adobe Atmos. so it's
Neither.
gonna-
I don't think I'm
feel
going to
it.
watch that.
Oh,
Gotta see
this sounds really bad, but do you have D-Box theaters near you?
No, we don't.
bad. So
We got
What are the
shitty
odds?
AMCs.
Dude, I
To the moon.
I saw Top Gun and Nope in D-Box. I was like, I'm seeing Mario in D-Box.
Top Gun is really good.
in D-Box, dude. The chair was moving as he was flying, and I was like, yeah, I'm dying in this chair. I'm dying in this theater right now.
So while on the topic of Power Rangers, obviously this has been making the news waves
Oh no.
for like the last 24
Ah,
hours.
You're hurting me.
I have not seen this.
You're
So-
hurting me.
I haven't seen this, but
This causes me pain every time.
So yeah,
I might have to make a video on this.
yeah. So IGN Southeast Asia put out 5 reasons why Power Rangers is slightly better than Super Sentai, and someone shared this on my Discord yesterday while I was driving, and I had to be a safe driver, pulled off to the side of the road to read this and not actually drive well.
Yep, for sure.
and go through this, and I'm just like, wow, okay. And of course, you're grasping at straws on what they've got here, but of course, some of you are more well versed when it comes to Power Rangers than I am nowadays. I feign ignorance when it comes to a lot of the newer shit. Like I said, I dropped out during SPD. Nexus, I know that you have minimal things when it comes to Power Rangers. You
I
jumped
have-
in, I think, Jungle Fury, right?
like I have watched Jungle Fury and I've watched like a couple of old series as well, and also some of the newer, because actually my first like getting into the Super Sentai was actually through Power Rangers Dino Charge, so I do have some knowledge.
Okay. And Cloudy, like, where's your
I have
recollection when it comes
seen
to Power
every Power Rangers season multiple times
What
Oh.
the hell?
because I.
Yeah, you haven't finished Blade.
Damn.
You haven't
No.
finished Blade.
What do you
You've
mean?
seen
I
every Power
finished
Rangers.
Blade. What are you talking
Well,
about?
watch it again.
I finished Blade. I just finished
It's
Blade.
me that hasn't watched
I literally
Blade,
just
Mark.
finished Blade, Mark.
Well, last time you were on like 26. I wasn't
Mark,
sure.
I
but
just finished
besides the point.
Blade with Fabi like 3 days ago.
Besides the point, watch it again.
All right. So looking at this, and of course, like I said, this is 5 reasons why Power Rangers is slightly better than Super Sentai. Their first reason is solid continuity. Super Sentai is pretty blatant in its sense of continuity, with each season taking place in its own universe, far removed from one another. Power Rangers, on the other hand, takes great lengths to establish its connected universe. So much so that seasons that pretty much end in reality-shattering ways, like Dino Charge and RPM, are set in separate universes. Beginning with the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, each season is loosely connected with each other, some more than others, especially with newer seasons like Beast Morphers and Dino Fury. This makes the crossover events within Power Rangers much more natural, particularly in seasons like Wild Force and its legendary Forever Red crossover episode. Now, I feel like this could be a double-edged sword when it comes to the continuity aspects, because it also always addresses, like, what were these guys doing when these new bad guys attacked? And why didn't they do anything? So it's just like, that also throws in a little bit of a can of worms and wrench when it comes to things.
Zordon got rid of every evil in the universe, so they didn't have to.
Yeah, but then you start off Lost Galaxy, and it's like, in a part of the universe where Zordon's energies did not reach. What?
Oh, no.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
that
sort
one
of
spec.
impossible, I feel like, though.
And then
I
back
have
to
watched In
Earth.
Space, and I'm just like, no, he should have destroyed everything.
Yeah,
Let's see what
so
happened was.
So when it comes to this point, like, Ash, how do you feel when it comes to, like, solid continuity being a net positive when it comes to Power Rangers versus Super Sentai?
I guess it's a plus, but then they use like the Dino Fury argument, and that came like 20 plus years later, so I don't think it counts. Well, it counts, but like I guess you get points for that. But like it is like that is something cool with Power Rangers, but like Sentai does have its own continuity. Like someone said in the comments, doesn't Go Kaiju take place in like the same universe?
Yeah, so it's kind of like different
Yeah.
in a sense, where Gokaiger kind of takes place in a universe in which all the Sentai exist within the same universe. Meanwhile, if you look into like Zenkaiger for another aspect, where it looks like the other Rangers exist within the context of separate universes, it's kind of like it's different per season on how things are portrayed. But you know, in some instances, characters that are gone are forever gone. Their spirits may come back, but they are gone. But the thing is, just like, they know how to still stick with their own respective continuity in terms of Super Sentai when they have their crossovers. And it's not like none of this stuff didn't happen before type thing. It's still like, you know, oh, this is what happens in your world versus our world, that type of thing. And we also get that in Kamen Rider as well, where they're not part of the same universes anymore as well. But I feel that it's a double-edged sword in that aspect. It can work in their favor, it can work against their favor. I feel like in some instances it could bloat the entire legacy to a point if you make your series too much reliant on the continuity, where it makes it harder for a newcomer to jump in, say for like the folks that are intimidated by getting into Ultraman for the same reason. So that's my counterpoint when it comes to the continuity aspect. But Mark, what do you feel when it comes to that?
There's a difference between good storytelling and continuity for continuity's sake, or to sell merch or to boost ratings. They could say the legendary Forever Red, but let's face it, that was to boost the ratings, just like when Super Mega Force and Mega Force did it. Now, my history is I watched OG Mighty Morphin all the way up to In Space. Then I checked out Lost Galaxy. I was like, meh. Then I came back for Dino Thunder. And since then, I've watched Mega Force, Super Mega Force. I tried the Beast Morphin one or whatever it's called. It was all right. And then I just watched Dino Fury season 1 and 2. Anytime there's continuity, it's just, most of the time it's for continuity's sake. Real continuity was literally Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 2 In Space. That was real continuity from a story standpoint, not just there. Anytime there's for Red, when Adam came back, when they brought in freaking Jason into, I think, Beast Morphers or whatever, all these other ones, it's like they morphed, no pun intended, the plot to kind of make it try and make sense for those episodes. but it didn't. It wasn't continuity. They just half-assed it, and so I could say if you go and look at the first couple seasons all the way up to In Space, yeah, I will give them credit. That was good. And now with Dino Fury, I really enjoyed the continuity there. But they run the risk. Like Dino Thunder kind of was one that confused me the most from a continuity standpoint, because I'm just like, well, these dinosaurs are there, and Tommy Oliver, this, that. I'm like, and he's a doctor, which we don't talk about. That was more or less, I felt like that was just like an anniversary season for Tommy Oliver and not a Power Ranger, like any continuity stuff. And yeah, they do it. And but I don't need that in Super Sentai. I'd rather have a really good season and have a good story, and that's it. I don't want to have to watch multiple seasons for I don't care about continuity. What if the season I don't like the suits or the mechas? Then I don't want to watch that season. But then if I want to watch the next one from a Power Ranger standpoint, it's like, oh, I hope there's no continuity. Like, say someone didn't care for Dino Fury, and then it's like, oh, here's Cosmic Fury. It's only 10 episodes. Oh, I could easily digest 10 episodes, but it's like, I didn't watch Dino Fury.
Who are these people? Yeah.
Why are they in space? Why are dinosaurs in space?
Like, there's also another series that I think the continuity, like, I can't say the word. I think it worked in some ways, and I liked it. Beast Morphers, when it was crossover with RPM and about the final villain. I was like, okay, that makes sense. And then them bringing back Doctor oh my goodness, I'm blanking on her name.
Dr. K.
Dr. K. I was actually happy because as someone who watched RPM, and I was like, I like seeing her character back. So, but I think the crossovers of like how they always try to bring like actors back, to be honest, I think it's just for the views and just for fan service. Like,
for sure.
It's really,
I mean,
that's like the sole purpose. And
whenever they could get away with it, they would always bring JDF back.
Dude,
yeah,
listen,
exactly.
I think it was Super Mega Force where they had them like all the OG legacy actors saving kids and stuff like that. They had like the helmet flash really quick over their faces. That was good. I like the way that looked.
That was really cool.
That was some good effects.
But it
I
was
like,
better in Gokaiger.
Listen,
it was.
I haven't finished Gokaiger yet.
Oh my god.
Never mind.
Well,
I finished episode 1. I did it.
Mark can't be the Sentai guy anymore. I'm sorry, that title's revoked now.
We had to talk about this. I'm not going to binge on.
We're taking it back.
We had this talk. I'm not going to binge everything in 1 week.
You'll be Sentai Brian soon enough. You'll be Sentai Brian.
Boo! Damn, big fan. Boo!
I'm
gonna sell all my merch now.
All right, Cloudy, what's your feelings towards the continuity aspect?
I mean, like Mark and you guys basically said it. When continuity is good, it's like relatively good storytelling. Like you have Mighty Morphing Through in Space, which is just one continuous story essentially, and it was relatively good. And then even continuing that, there was like small hints of obviously these older Rangers in the newer seasons, and that was fine because they were like relatively speaking small, just tidbits and nods back to the older seasons. It wasn't really until you got till past, I think maybe the Disney era where they started doing a lot more of the like bringing an actor back for the next season or whatever, just to either play a role or just to do a cameo and stuff like that.
Yeah, kind of like, because it was all filmed in New Zealand, so they had New Zealand actors. And then they did get like crossovers. Sorry if I cut you up. They did get crossovers every year in the Disney era. Like there'd be almost a crossover up to Jungle Fury, and then RPM we didn't get crossovers for those seasons. But yeah, there was sort of like a crossover each season.
I actually think we did get a crossover for RPM. Well, not exactly. I think in Samurai, RPM had a crossover or something like that.
Yeah, the movie. Yeah.
Yes, that nonsense. I mean, yes, that great storytelling. So for like when it comes to like continuity, it works like when it works really well. Like you have certain stories that, because of these worlds are related and connected. Like for example, the Beast Morphers and RPM worlds; those are connected. So that has a pretty interesting continuity there. But then there's also times where it's like, why is this here? Because if you know anything about Mystic Force, Mystic
Oh,
Force
no.
and SPD are also interconnected because Piggy shows up in Mystic Force and basically tells them all that in the future there's going to be a bunch of aliens taking over anyway, and then we're going to be thrown into that world. And I'm like, wow. Because and then you also, if you want to take it even further, if you want to go into Dino Charge, dinosaurs exist now. Just they
Yeah.
exist.
Yeah,
They
oh,
blew
right
up
at
their-
the
they
end.
blew up
Yeah.
their
Oh, I
universe,
totally
and then
forgot.
they went
So
back in time and fixed it.
I don't know how they want to say like or rewrite some of these events with the continuity and whatnot, because technically speaking, in terms of the timeline, I don't even know if we're past the era where Vengex and the
Mhm.
world ended and we're past that, or if we're still before even SPD as far as the timeline is concerned with Power Rangers. Because honestly, I
SBS.
don't know.
SPD started in 2025, I think.
I
So we're
believe
creeping
so.
up on that timeline. Yeah.
So next year we're gonna get SPD2.
I
Confirmed.
hope.
Oh.
Yeah, but my thing,
Filmed
it's
in
like,
standard definition.
exactly. It's just one of those things where it's like it's very weird because they all share the same world, and they really wouldn't have this issue if after a point they just said different world, different continuity, different universe. These characters are crossing over because I don't know, maybe dimensional nonsense or whatever, just so that
Mm.
you can still have those crossovers, you can still have those older characters. But as far as everything is contained in one world, it really gets
Well,
just
correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't there 3 universes in the Power Rangers like show universe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the Dino Charge, the main universe, and then RPM.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
shown in the Ninja Steel, if I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I watched that crossover and I just remember like these other Rangers coming. They're like, "Oh, we come from this universe in which this happens," and I'm like, "Okay, cool." And then this other one
Another-
comes out, and it's just like, oh, "Okay, bet."
Just
Got 'em.
yes, also another excuse for JDF to get a new morpher, allowing him to transform into every
You're missing
Ranger.
you're missing the key secret ingredient to why the continuity is bullshit in Power Rangers. And it was introduced in Dino Fury. More in depth, the Morphin Masters.
Yeah. Oh,
That's on
right.
this list. It's on this list. We'll
The
get to it.
morphing grid. And,
Oh Jesus. I didn't fully read the article. Oh,
The
well, there you
morphing
go.
grid is next.
Oh, great.
yeah.
Well then.
Can we not talk about the Force? I mean, it's right now. It's not really.
This is actually my first time even seeing the morphin.
Oh, you
Masters.
didn't. Oh, that's right. You didn't
Oh,
watch
you
that.
never
no,
seen
no,
them?
No.
Yeah.
Dude.
So
I
let me just
didn't
read this
fucking
real fast. Let's see. Every first episode of Super Sentai introduces a new power system in which the heroes of the season use to transform into their spandex-wearing alter egos. It makes sense since each season is set in their own universe, so the power of transformation is also different each time. Each Power Rangers team's source of power is from the Morphin Grid, a sort of trans-dimensional power source that bestows power onto selected individuals. It is a connective tissue that binds everything together. Something Super Sentai doesn't really have beyond the Ranger keys shown in Kaizoku Sentai Go Kaiger.
They
So-
don't need it, at least in my opinion.
Really
It's
quick.
not
This
What
is
are
a
these
false-
helmets? What are these?
false
They look
statement.
like llamas. Look at their
They
necks.
are llamas.
Look at their necks.
I've
Oh.
seen llamas up close on the
Are
front.
these reused Mystic Knights of Tirnanog suits? Like, what is
No.
this?
Oh, freaking no!
So
It's
these
gross,
are
is
like
what it
characters
is.
from the comics that they turned into
Yeah.
suits.
Ah,
I will say this is all bullshit because it's not people that are selected, because Eric, the Quantum Ranger, stole that shit. He was just like, nah, it's my power.
That is
Mm.
true.
So,
yeah.
and that's
Also,
why he's the best 6 ever.
Mm.
Fight me. Best 6 ever.
I mean, not
I'm trying
every
to remember who this guy was because I've heard of this guy.
who
The
Eric,
Quantum Ranger?
the Quantum Ranger.
Eric, yeah.
Time
He's just tapping the gun
fire.
on his
He's the
finger
time
wrist.
daddy of our universe.
That's
Yeah.
why I didn't.
The
I didn't
American
watch Time
universe.
Force. That's why.
The virtual.
I met him in
Devil
Power
May
Morphin
Cry.
God last year.
Have you watched
Dude's
Time
keeping it
Ranger?
No,
physically.
I haven't watched Time Ranger nor Time Force. So
Dude,
Boo, fake fan, boo.
boo, boo,
I'm not
man.
a fan. Like,
Boo Nexus. Don't boo me anymore. You got chat booing me before. That hurt my feelings. But not really.
I didn't boo you, Mark. I
I'll
was in full
refinance all their
support.
houses.
Oh.
give me some slack. I've already said I'm not a big Power Ranger fan.
Oh, trust me. It's. I will say that's why I give well, now that I know Cloudy's seen every season, credit and
Well,
Ash credit for his videos.
See,
and
you hear that?
That
The
needs to be
cows
a
are
part.
coming for you. I
Okay.
hear it.
So
That
Ash,
was me.
would you like to know something about Cloudy that makes me not like? I have watched and I will continue to watch every Power Ranger season, but with like the world's worst grain of salt and worst grin on my face. I've
Yeah.
seen Super Mega Force 5 times.
Oh no! Why?
I've seen
think
it
I've
once.
seen it like
would you
just
do
as
that?
much because like they aired it in reruns in Australia all the time on like free tier TV, and I'll just have it on in the background.
Not only that, but because I had to watch it with other friends because they
Mm.
wanted to know just how bad of a show I was talking about. And
Yeah.
I was like, so do you want to watch the first bit of the show so you have context for why this sucks so bad? And it's like, and most of the time they would say yes. So unfortunately, I've watched Megaforce 4 times at this point.
That's still bad.
So someone explain to me, like, give me like, Morphin Masters for dummies. How does this shit relate to like, say, Zordon? Because I thought Zordon created like the power coins in like original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. How the fuck do they retcon that with this
Ash
shit?
is going to explain this a lot better.
Yeah.
even though
Okay.
Yeah,
So
go ahead, Ash.
like I kind of like have a refresher of this because Linkara put out History of Power Rangers. So there's this one scene in MMPR season 1 where they talk about the Morphin Masters, and they use that Dual Ranger footage of the wizards putting the egg in the box and floating it
Mhm.
down the river. Those characters they called the Morphin Masters, and in the comics they expanded on it, saying like the Morphin Masters are the ones that look over the grid. There's the Morphin Masters, there's the three emissaries, and then there's like the heart of the Morphin Master, like in this weird order. But like we see sort of the Morphin Masters in the comics, and they show up and they sort of like look over everything. And there is this one Morphin Master that went crazy, and they sort of splintered off an entire universe and locked him in it. It's weird. But these Morphin Masters are basically those characters come back, and because the Dino Fury Rangers were like before they became the Dino Fury Rangers, they were knights like millions of years ago. And then like the battle got taken to Earth, and then they came to Earth, the Morphin Masters, and gave them the powers. So they sort of pre-exist sort of. But not only that, then you find out that the Morphin Masters, and this might explain it in the article, I don't know. The Morphin Masters are the ones that created the Dino Gems, the Ninja Star from Ninja Steel, and the gems from Dino Charge. So they created the two Dino weapons. But not only that, in Dino Fury Season 2, the Green Morphin Master is like basically a wizard did it. So how did all those Rangers show up in Super Mega Force? A wizard did it. Is there something weird that's unexplained in Power Rangers? And it was the Green Morphin Master. So that's like basically like the terrible cliff notes of everything going on. But yeah, Ninja did create the power coins, but apparently like the Morphin Masters are the ones that wrote the books about it or something like that.
Mm.
Basically, an end game when Doctor Strange did all the circles and everyone came through. It was the Green Morphin Master.
It was the Green Morphin Master.
As you all know, there's a simple explanation for that.
Plot.
No, that's the whole thing.
Yeah,
it just sounds way more fucking convoluted than it needs to be.
The easiest.
Yeah, I'm
one
not understanding it myself.
if you know Marvel Comics, basically they're the Watchers.
Yeah.
But they can technically interject and do stuff, whereas the Watchers do not interfere. They just record everything. The Morphin Masters, every once in a while, the green one's just like, oh, they get slapped around. Let's take 5 of the previous Rangers. It's what seasons have an anniversary coming up? Throw them in the episode. Thank you.
I just had to facepalm so hard. I think it messed up my camera.
Thing is, I just remember, wasn't it like one special or something in which like Alpha was physically in the Morphin grid trying to repair it?
Yes.
That
was in
Drive One.
Yeah, the Operation Overdrive with where they brought I think it was the green from Mystic Force, the black from the original black,
wacky.
Blue from Ninja Storm, and what was it again? Red from SPD.
Oh, that crossover! I
mad.
haven't seen that in ages.
I thought
There
you were
was
setting
one
up for
more,
Alpha's
but I
Magical
completely
Christmas.
too.
I
We
literally
did
thought you were
watch that
setting up
stream,
for Alpha's Magical Christmas at first. Like, what's that one
Yeah, me
thing
too,
with
me
Alpha,
too.
Alpha's Magical
Speaking of
Christmas?
which, that brings me to an interesting theory I had the other day.
About
As you
Alpha?
know, they said that the villain is an old enemy of the Power Rangers. So I'm pretty sure Robo Rita was created by Alpha, as we all know Alpha is the first villain in the entire series.
Yeah.
Alpha 1.
His voice was a war crime.
All right. So the next thing is the New Wave comics.
I actually like these.
So while Super Sentai does occasionally have video games based on certain seasons, manga adaptations are something the franchise does shy away from. For the most part, Super Sentai exists as a purely live-action series, hence why it's tokusatsu. Meanwhile, Sononi, the current Boom Comics studio had to do it. The current Boom Studios comics run has reinvented Power Rangers for the better, which is still ongoing today with new stories based on older seasons and even crossovers with other comic properties like Justice League and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I think most people would be in agreement, at least from what I've seen, that that definitely the comics are like the saving grace of Power Rangers currently, and it has probably been like the backbone
100%.
of the franchise for like the last decade or so, right?
Oh yeah.
The
definitely.
8-year anniversary of the comic is in April or May, I think.
Yep.
Because I have been getting it
maybe-
since then.
There's only one
Yeah.
complaint I ever made with the comics.
And
Oh,
what
sorry.
is that? What is that?
Too much MMPR.
Yeah, what's your complaint?
I mean, that's
Yeah,
everything.
like,
Listen,
well, it's
I
called
wish
Mighty
it,
Morphin.
it has to be. Like, and I had that mentality for a while when it was starting at the low period after Shattered Grid, like Beyond the Grid and everything. I was
Yeah,
like,
no one cared about this story
Yeah.
arc. Well, some people cared about, but like a lot of people dropped off after the story arc.
yeah. Once
After
they
Shattered
split
Grid.
it, and it was two, and it was Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers as two separate comics, and the Omega Rangers and everything else, like it picked up. It has to be Mighty Morphin because that's what's like. Look at the comic book fans, the age of the majority age percentage of people who read comics who are buying this comic. But the fact that I was pointing out, I was pitching comics to a friend of mine because like he's like, I want to get into them, like get some of the trades for it because this. Like if you have like the nostalgia goggles for MMPR, you go and you read this, especially if you go into the Go-Go Power Rangers run before it ended, with like Cena Grace writing it and Ryan Parrott, those were closer to the show, like the high school life with being Power Rangers, whereas Mighty Morphin Power Rangers are like for a while there was doom and gloom, but there's a depth to these comics because they could do what the show
it adds
can't.
character to them.
It's they're like I said earlier in the stream, Rocky, like. If he was like this in the show, he would be my favorite character. He would be my favorite character out of any person to ever be a Power Ranger because he's that good in the comics. And I always tell everyone, I was like, just because Power Ranger, it's not a kid's comic.
Yeah. No, that's true.
The shows have an age demographic. This comic book is for people in our age group. Like I wouldn't give like 6 or 7 year old the Power Ranger comic books, honestly. Maybe
plenty of adult themes.
Yeah, and it's really. They hit on some serious stuff. Like there's death of some like family members of the Rangers they deal with. Because I'm trying not to spoil anything. Because I want everyone to read the comics. I'm sure Ash already knows which one we're talking about.
Yeah.
There's just so much stuff in there. And like the Rita, we get backstory to Zordon, the Altarian War,
backstory for Zed.
Yeah, finally some Zed stuff explained. Then we get an evil Alpha with the freaking Grave Zord, Megazord. Like there's so much stuff in these comics that I'm just like that's why I'm mad when like no one like Boom is doing an all right job and the writers and the artists are doing more retweets about it and the fans then like Hasbro or Boom are doing to promote this comic because this should be selling. And I follow the comic book sales because I do a stream. I go on a guest on a stream every once in a while where we go over comic book sales for the month. And for a while, they're not even top 50, sometimes not even top 150, where these are in the latter half of the bottom 50 of the top 200 sales. And I'm like, why is no one marketing? Like, this is some of the best storytelling in comics right now. And I'm a comic guy. I've been collecting for 30 years. I have 8,000 comics plus and growing. And I'm like, this is the best comic I'm reading.
It
That's
honestly
my
is a
soapbox.
mystery to me. I really don't know because they really. I don't know what it is with Hasbro. They have a problem promoting some of the
Yeah.
better things.
I
I mean,
have
it
people
could
were
just
like,
be the state of comics in general right now.
No,
honestly,
it's not with
No,
this. 'Cause
it's just the
I have
Hasbro.
friends who literally thought it stopped after Shattered Grid. They thought it stopped.
Mm.
And
Oh.
I'm just like, no, it's still going. They thought the one-offs like Psychopath and stuff like that were all that's being released now. And I'm like, no, those are like little tasty morsels for you. Like
Yeah.
those are appetizers. Like the comic's still going. It's just no, because
Mhm.
I'm not going to get into the state of comic books, but it's being over exaggerated a bit
Mhm.
with the issues with the sales. But no, they're just not promoting it because, like I said, a lot of people who read it, who stopped after Shattered Grid, didn't realize it's still going.
Still
Mm.
quality stuff, you know.
It's better. I think it's better now than a majority of the stuff that was pre-Shattered Grid.
Yeah.
well, we got the sound of
Oh,
that saying they used the Death Rouger in the comics since they missed him in the show. So that's something that he liked about the comics.
Mm.
As you should.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot more you could do in the comics than
Yeah,
you could in the
Like
show.
they even bring in like Sentai teams that are pretty during and they establish them in the universe, like Flashman and Fireman.
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
I'm kind of
Oh,
bad. Kyle said he was going to try and put Masked Rider in there.
Yeah, I remember Ryan and Carl
Yeah.
saying that like they wanted
Yeah.
to put like 'cause King Eldian, whatever his name is, appears in Go, but like there's a whole like rights issue if they want to put in Masked Rider.
Yeah. And I was like,
Who-
damn, we're
who
this
owns the
close.
rights to Master Rider right now?
I think it's more Toei because they have to
it's
use the
still Toei.
suits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ishinomori was definitely not about like those brands having the rights to that character anymore after that show.
It would have been the trickle effect in the videos I would have made because then I would have been like, here's Furbus, and I could have went back and tying everything into Alf. And then
Imagine
all
we
would
get
have been
a
happy.
new Furbus figurine or plush with the free comic.
So yeah, though I've only read a handful of comics, I would say, at least in terms of this point of the article, I would be in agreement that yes, the comics are definitely a strong suit Power Rangers has over Super Sentai. I think we can all agree on that point.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hearing
Plus,
by
Super
your,
Sentai has a manga.
talks, yeah, I
Mhm.
would think it since I don't read any of the comics at all because I'm not someone that reads, but just hearing the arguments as a bystander or a seat filler, yeah, I'm starting into an agreement that comics has definitely been like one of the bigger impacts.
You should
Let
give it a shot.
Inoue make a novel of Dawn Brothers, and I
Yeah.
will die
Oh,
a happy person.
They've got to
have
make that
so-
manga we saw at the end real. Like that has to be like
oh my
Yeah.
god!
Oh, I
someone-
want that to
someone
be
drew
real.
that.
Yes.
someone drew that. That has to be real.
That's got to be a thing. It can't just be fake.
I need it. I need it.
And
I will
we have a
keep
Super
it, I
Sentai
promise.
manga.
Even if
called
it's just a retelling,
Go-Go
I want
Loser
it.
Rangers. Just go read Go-Go Loser Rangers. It's a Sentai manga. It counts.
Like, Go
Mighty
Loser Ranger. Go Loser Ranger is
Zords.
great.
So their next topic is Mighty Zords. Okay. It is not a Super Sentai series without giant combining robots dealing the finishing blow at the end of every episode. Clearly they
Tell
didn't
that
watch
to
Dawn
Dawn
Brothers.
Brothers.
Exactly. It is a part of the franchise's DNA, with each yearly mecha being something fans look forward to. These mecha are not, however, divided into classes. As Power Rangers, oh, this already sounds dumb. As Power Rangers does with Zords, Megazords, Ultra Zords, and the like. Weirdly enough, this uniform classification of their robotic arsenal adds a great sense of power scaling with each fight, since depending on the type of Zord used, fans get a sense of how powerful the enemy can be. All right, first of all, that's
No.
fucking BS. That's
no
fucking
No.
fan knows the difference.
No.
Well,
exactly.
Unless you're Deoxy.
This whole entire point just sounds completely
This
dumb.
is like, we separated
does
the
sound very
Zords
dumb.
into different classes, so obviously people know which ones are better and what to expect. No,
That's
shut up.
basically
sound
stating
cool.
the obvious. That's not
Shut your mouth.
needed.
All they know is that Zord get bigger, Zord more powerful.
Listen,
Yeah.
Titanus was beast. I don't care what anyone says. That's my favorite Zord.
Yeah, but even then, it's like they pulled them from Sensei anyway. That alone
Yeah.
shows you that there was already scaling to begin with.
Right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Like they would always get like the mid-season like mecha to get a power up in some way, shape, or form, or the auxiliary mecha to add more to their arsenal on there, and then the final like Gatai at the end that usually would end up becoming a giant clusterfuck. But hey, deals massive damage.
Yeah.
I'm
Like-
looking at you, Samurai.
Hey, listen,
I think what
put
they're
some
trying to
respect
say
on
with
that
this
beautiful
point in
next
the
name.
article, I think what they're trying to say with this point in the article, because it's called Megazord and Ultrazord, you can understand the class. Like just because it's like called what's the Daijujin, whatever his super form is, that's not cool sounding enough. It doesn't have Ultra in it, so they're like, fuck it. It's got to have the word Ultra and Mega in it to make it sound like there's sort of like a class between them. I think that's what they're trying to get at. Like,
Yeah, but I watch Digimon, and Mega comes after Ultra, and this is
True.
just completely throwing off my entire record. I'm just
And then you gotta go to the DNA Mega Evolutions. which is
exactly
just
fusions,
Omnimon,
all that shit.
Omegamon.
Hey,
Like,
listen, we're playing
Garaphomon.
Cyber Sleuth right now. Yeah, well, listen. I
Oh,
And the
can
thing is, it's just like I watched the US dub of Ultraman, and they said when Super is not enough. So where are the Super Zords? See, but
Mhm.
we don't got it.
Also, what debunks us too is the Red Thunder Zord, the dragon one, turned into like a humanoid, and he was demolishing monsters on his own in some of the episodes.
Yeah.
It's true.
Never
This
needed
is
the
power
Thunder
scaling
Megazord.
problems as well.
Listen, everything is power scale plot.
Exactly. Like the whole
yeah.
entire night that we've been talking about plot.
And of course, Arson over here. Don't forget that there are mechas and Sentai that talk as well. Absolutely. Meanwhile, that personality is completely gone in Power Rangers as well. But then again, Power Rangers takes itself too seriously.
I mean, I just think like the name Daikai Shinkeno is pretty fucking badass.
I just wonder who would win a fight, Mecha Godzilla or the Dragon Zord.
Oh, who do you think would win?
That was not explained. I expected that in the Godzilla versus Power Ranger comic, and it didn't happen. Which they
Shame.
didn't bring up for the comic book crossovers because this article should have been written by me. I would have made more details, and I wouldn't have sounded stupid.
Graf asks, how did they not try to use the battleizer? Sure, it wasn't that good, but it's original footage. That's true. In this article, they make no mentions of battleizers at all. One of the things that Power Rangers definitely has that's kind of unique to them, and even that Sentai had to take in, the occasion of a Deca Ranger bringing in the battleizer from SPD in their crossover. Like,
It's just that good.
yeah, even
it's
they were
a
like,
very
shit.
good idea.
No, it's fantastic.
Like
a
as
lot
much
of
as I
the-
hate Mystic Force, I love the battleizer.
I hate that
The-
battleizer. I saw that shit. That shit's disgusting.
That was gross.
You take that back.
the battleizer I like the
I just
most
like the
is
colors
still,
and what it was trying to go.
What does he call it again? What was the Ninja Storm battleizer called? Because that was my favorite.
No idea. To watch Ninja Storm.
Oh God, you're missing out.
I
watched
still
Ninja
prefer that
Storm.
original like battleizer from In Space, just because it's like Andros got that shredded. He got that 80s style
He got
cut.
super
He got
buff.
that powerful Rangers build
Yeah.
from
Got super
Akiba
buff
Ranger.
for no reason.
Yep, with the see-through chest for no fucking reason. Just look at those. That thing's synthetic muscle right there. Build KO35 graded.
What's
Like-
the worst battleizer? Now that I'm thinking about it.
You guys said that was bad, like my option. So
No, I still think
don't-
maybe the
I'm just hung up on the title of the next paragraph, so I can't even think about battle.
Maybe the
right now.
Dino-
I'm like, oh god, that's gonna be
I
a good
think,
paragraph to read.
Dino
Didn't-
Thunder.
Didn't Quantum Ranger get the skates?
Yes, that was a
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
That was a thing.
I'm-
God.
yeah, there was that. I didn't like the one in Lost Galaxy because it looked cumbersome because he was walking around with those giant fucking shoes, those metal shoes, stomping. You even see him in the opening, bro, you struggling out here.
I don't like the stretchy limbs for Dino Thunder. That was weird.
And then the original Power Rangers SPD battleizer before they got the full one, where it's just the battle thong, quote
The
unquote.
battle thong. Oh my god.
Yeah.
oh my
I forgot about the battle thong.
Yeah, that's what it was called in the fandom back in the day. I remember.
the good old
So-
battle thong.
I can't talk about SPD because I have an embarrassing story. I'll share. So I met SPD Red.
Oh.
And I didn't know he was SPD Red. And this was a long time ago. But I
Oh,
saw him in
God.
other stuff that he's been in. So I was bringing up other stuff. And he's like, yeah, that's that. And then it clicked on me because of the post. I'm like, oh yeah. And Power Rangers too. I said it just like that. And I sounded so douchey about it. But I was like, no, it's I forget because you're actually one of the few people who's done other things
Yeah.
that I've watched. And he's like, yeah, he's like, mainly everyone just comes up about the Power Ranger stuff. I'm like, no, you're great in slasher. I love Canadian horror TV shows. Like, you're good at this, and this. And she's the man. And he's like, yeah, that's guys don't normally bring up that movie. I'm like, hey, whoa, Amanda Bynes was a great movie. It's hilarious. Soccer. I love soccer. Channing Tatum, he did movies with stuff.
That is true.
But it was a really awkward interaction. I was like, all right, never gonna say hi to him ever again. I walked right by his booth at freaking Power Marvel last year. I was like, oh, it's him. Nope. Keep walking.
All right. So even though Battleizers was not on this list, their last topic,
Missed opportunity.
good
Can we not
old
talk about-
diversity.
Oh my god, I didn't want to hear it.
Wait,
That's why I saw the title of it. I was like,
That's literally
Yeah.
it.
We
Good
saw
old
it the other
diversity.
day. We talked about this the other day too.
Not that we blame Super Sentai for being a Japanese franchise, but Power Rangers has allowed more people to be superheroes, with more than a handful of Southeast Asian Power Rangers in its history since its creation. The Vietnamese American Toi Tran served as the very first Yellow Ranger, with subsequent seasons like Time Force and Wild Force featuring Filipino Rangers, Ninja Storm having a Malaysian Singaporean Ranger, and both Dino Charge and Ninja Steel featuring Indonesian Rangers. That said, both franchises are getting better at representation, with Super Sentai having occasional non-Japanese side characters and even having the first male Pink Ranger, and Power Rangers featuring their first autistic Ranger and LGBTQ Ranger. So the biggest point that they have on here is essentially, America in a nutshell. Like, because that's the thing. It's just like America, like American TV in general, has been diverse for decades.
dude,
now.
93 the first show came out, so it's like
Exactly.
that's why people make a big
And
deal.
I'll
now.
just
I'm like,
say, everyone is talking about Kijino as being the first Pink. He was actually technically not the first Pink in the whole entire Sentai franchise, because we had something called High School Heroes, and I still stand
High
that
School Heroes counts.
Ichika is so much better than Kijino,
And
but
First
I-
trans character as well.
Yeah.
exactly.
High School
So
Heroes, I tell everyone
I
that's like
stand to
the
that.
best, one of the best indie toku to check out is High School Heroes.
Yeah.
yes,
I
I
still
love
need to
that.
Also-
watch it.
It's
Before we
great.
get into- Can we look
It's
at that photo
definitely
really quick? Why does it look like their suits are made out of like 70s
Felt?
like velvet?
They're the
felt
shit
yeah,
suit.
couch
They're the
covers.
It looks like a
shit.
suede. It looks like
I was
the
like,
suede material inside car interiors.
that looks sweaty.
It does.
Yeah,
Look
it's
how
like
I was
the
sweating
American
watching
outfits.
it.
Like you've even got like Jason David Frank wearing like the fabric shield. Like
I
the
never got
American
over
shield.
the turtlenecks. Like
Yeah.
that thing's
Yeah.
thick.
Yeah,
Like-
especially with Reds, that turtleneck is a bit too
They're all going to
long.
court to fake a car accident injury.
Oh, except for yellow.
especially
Yellow
Billy's
doesn't have
one.
it.
Yellow and pink don't
Especially
either. 'cause
Billy's
they
yeah.
don't
one
have
with how it's loose.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel. Yeah, no, go ahead, Mark.
It's always been diverse. Like, okay, as a kid, like I was 7 when the show came out, so I remember like being like, the diversity wasn't a big deal, but it was
It
like
wasn't.
cool because like I had friends like in that time, like a lot of people were moving. I grew up in Connecticut, so it was very white.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of different people of different ethnicities moving to New England around that time frame. So it was like people are cool, like, oh man, like I like the Yellow Ranger because that looks like such and such, and I'm that. Like, but we didn't make like a big deal, like, oh my god, this is me on the screen. But it was they didn't bring the attention and make that the selling point of it.
I feel like this was back when diversity was such out there that you didn't actually have to point it out in people's faces
this
every
was
time you were
before Twitter.
diverse. This was before like
This was before like mainstream internet. Like the entire thing is just like this was already
Before
a
media
normalized
happened.
thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
now it's like, hey, look at what we're doing. We're so diverse. But and the other thing is like you can't really compare this to Japanese tokusatsu because I don't know, maybe because everyone in Japan happens to be, well, for the most part, Japanese.
Well, it's not just it is that.
Yeah, I mean, so like
I
it's
was
kind of
like-
it's kind of hard to like be diverse when everyone is literally just Japanese.
But I don't think they're like, if this article was different and they just said the differences between the two, but like they're making it sound like this because of the name of the article. They're saying this is a selling point of why Power Rangers is better. Because if they go by the basis and the motivation behind the article, I'm like, no, this paragraph does not need to be in there
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
for the title and topic at hand. I will say it is really cool because, especially in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, their individual character growth episodes had nothing to do with like their diversity either. It was something
Yeah.
about their personality traits. Like
Mhm.
Zach was hip hop dancing, and like we had Eye Guy and stuff like that. Like those were what's
Mhm.
cool. Like none of their race or any of their background had anything to do with
Yeah.
their character. Even with the 2017 movie, like Billy, that had nothing to do with Billy. Billy, that didn't change him as a character overall. It wasn't like a big pertinent thing to his story. It was from the standpoint of his interaction with Jason and everything else.
At the start, yeah.
Yeah, but it had nothing else to do. So like I was like, it could
It
be
wasn't-
done right, and it's good. And
Mhm.
Power Rangers has always been really good at balancing that and not make, except for things I've heard about Ninja Steel, but
The movie was very good, at least in my opinion. I liked the 2017 Power Rangers movie.
Demand
Is
I
it
didn't care
like
for it,
the which one are we talking about? Is it the,
That is the
2017.
it's
The Lionsgate one.
yeah,
the
one
one
with
Krispy Kreme.
the dude from
Yeah, Krispy
yeah.
Kreme. Yeah.
Krispy
Krispy
and
Kreme.
Stranger
the
Things
one
dude
that
in
had
there.
the like the
Big Rita.
special appearance with like Jason
Amy
and
and-
also the Pink
Yeah.
Kimberly.
Amy,
Yeah, they were
Okay,
just there. They were just
Okay, then I
killing
have watched
That
that.
was
Yeah.
that was the movie that made me feel things about Rita that I realized I shouldn't have.
Listen,
Okay.
Big Rita at a
Really,
Krispy
did you not
Kreme
watch
was
like
fantastic.
the end of In Space when she transformed and you're like, bruh?
That made
It's
her less
not the
attractive,
same.
in my opinion.
Not the same.
Really?
That one
You
wasn't
like
trying to
the,
get
you like the
donuts.
Madonna titties?
I would have taken that over what we got at the end of that.
I
Yeah,
appreciate the love of Krispy Kreme, honestly.
exactly.
Not me. That's carbs.
Also, that movie was just fun, at least in my
Also-
opinion. It felt like they were just getting to know each other for most of it, and I feel like that's what like
Yeah.
it kind of captured one episode in like an entire movie in a sense. Because oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, Chest of Greatness said, I hope Zach still has those dance moves for the special. He does that still professionally, like choreographing dances and stuff. Has a
Really?
studio and everything. Yeah,
Yeah, I can't wait to see.
I love Walter Jones. Like he does a
I met
lot
him
of
once.
signings
Really
out here in
nice
San
guy.
Diego, and he is easily
Wait,
one of the most down.
Honestly, getting him back was
Mm.
probably like the most exciting thing for me for
Yeah.
the special.
Yeah.
I'm a little confused. Why is someone in the chat saying "Wow, Cloudy"? Wow, did I say something off? I
Probably.
just said I like that movie.
Oh well,
I mean,
maybe
I
they
really like the
disagree.
movie. I saw it 3 times.
You better
in
take it to
theaters.
Denny's parking lot.
I'll fight you
Oof.
there anytime,
No.
any day, Zio, especially about Red Velvet.
Oh,
Look, the new
let's-
plate is about kiwi skin.
Oh,
So
no.
listen,
Are we
Wait,
really
what?
bringing this up?
he's,
No.
he's saying you should
wait.
eat the kiwi skin because it's the most fibrous
Nutritious
and
part,
nutrient-
and it tastes better. Like it adds a sour kick
All right,
to
listen.
the kiwi fruit.
You're gross.
You had me in the first half about the nutritious value of it, but the flavor, no.
No,
You don't like
Gross.
sweet and sour? You don't like sweet and sour?
I do,
Zio,
but that's not good sweet sour.
You feel just
No,
looking at
no,
it,
it's
makes me feel
great.
like I'm eating hairy balls. I don't want to look at that.
Listen,
Look,
I
so-
can't,
some-
I can't make that
here that
comparison,
doesn't
so I
eat
don't
it at
know.
all.
Sometimes you
So-
got to get past the hairy balls and just go for the flavor.
I like kiwis just fine, but I can't.
you got to
do
get
the
you
hair.
get that you got to get that underskin
Yeah.
under the
Can't-
hair.
I can't get
See,
the skin, bro.
Get the
I can't
kiwi,
get it
little
in the skin.
tahini on there, delicious.
Damn.
Nah, y'all missing out. Y'all missing out
Oh,
on some
about-
proper nutrients. Anyway,
It was about my Rita take. No, I just didn't think she was
Yeah,
attractive.
Elizabeth
when
Banks,
was
man, she
being
does.
on. Krispy Kreme Rita just did it, bro.
so yeah, like I think in terms of like the selling points of this on what Power Rangers does better than Super Sentai, it's probably like 50-50
Yeah.
on a lot of this.
Mhm.
It's very very subjective in some state.
They could have
Some
just renamed the
senses.
article. They should not have named it why it's better. They should have said like
Power Rangers
key-
versus Super Sentai.
key
or
elements
something like
Power
that.
Rangers does
Yeah,
differently
exactly.
from
Mhm.
Super Sentai. As someone who's a freelance journalist for almost 11 years, it's all about wording on the title. That's a clickbait title. They could have just said
Yeah.
key elements Power Rangers does differently from its Super Sentai counterpart.
I'm just saying they both have their good sides to them, so there's no
Like-
point in saying one's better than the other.
Like they
Yeah.
had me up, they had me all the way up until the comic book paragraphs, and then after that, I was just like, no. The mechas and the Zords are what threw it off. That's kind of where it started going downhill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But the
I
comic
didn't
book
need
stuff
the
they were right about.
classifications.
Grasping at straws.
Where's the rookie mech? Where's the champion mech? Where's the
You forgot in training.
oh yeah
Yep,
training
you
mech?
gotta end training.
And don't forget baby mech.
Oh
Yep.
my goodness.
It just hatched from an egg. I think you've been playing too much Digimon, but hey, Saban Brands did
I haven't
bring
been
over
playing enough.
Digimon to the
Mech
US as
from,
well. So hey,
Dino Fury, like the small mech that's able to punch. I forgot what's it called. From Dino Fury, where basically it was like the small baby mech, and then just was
Oh.
punching.
Oh,
Pachi.
Pachi. Yeah, that's the baby mech. That's what they're referring. But yeah, as usual.
that's not actually what I was talking about at all. But okay,
We're gonna go with it.
all right, fair enough.
all right. So the last and final topic tonight is essentially I did have some people wondering about like the content creation scene, especially like when it comes to tokusatsu in general, like breaking into like this niche, like the do's and don'ts, like or even just for folks just trying to get general advice in terms of just trying to be content creators in some sort of space on there. Some of the lessons that we've learned, some of the experiences that we've had, and even like looking from lessons from others and things like that. And I mean, Ash, you've been in this game longer than any of us when it comes to this. So can you shed some light? Like, how did you get into this entire thing? How did you decide that this was the niche you wanted to go into? And
Backstory time. Cool.
Yep.
Origin
So
story.
when I started doing YouTube, I was like making cringe Pokemon Nuzlocks and talking about like manga chapters for Hunter x Hunter and whatever was topical at the time. And those videos did average, okay, and stuff like that. Like if I had a topic, I'd talk about it. A lot of these videos are unlisted on the channel, but some of them are still there. Gantz O was coming out, so I wanted to talk about Gantz O. And the Gantz G manga at the time. But when Shattered Grid came out, I was like, I'll cover this Power Ranger comic and I'll talk about it and I'll see what happens. And here we are now. So I feel like I just got thrusted into the whole, I'll cover this comic monthly and see where it goes. And I didn't think it would put me where I am right now. So
yeah. And Mark, how about you? Like,
I'm newer from the standpoint of like taking YouTube seriously, I guess. I've been behind the scenes since like 08 because I used to do the journalism stuff. So I used to film like Q&A panels at conventions for different websites and companies and edit them up and do the interviews and write articles. It wasn't, I'm trying to figure out how to word the Toku side of things because I don't really need to be like blocked anymore on social media and people talking shit about me, but it's whatever, you know how I feel. Like Zio says, there's a Denny's everywhere. I could travel. I got flyer miles. So I never, and my mind has changed a bit, but I never really wanted to like do Toku videos. I had my podcast. I had another podcast that I was on for like 8 years. I started my own. Pandemic hit. That I was like, well, let me start doing videos to go along because I'm talking comic books. I'm talking Power Ranger comic books in my podcast, but it's like I'm talking about all these variant covers because I have almost all the variants. So I'm like, let me do videos to like show off the covers to go along with it. And then it's like, oh, well, let me talk about my new toys. Oh, you know what? And then I mentioned Kamen Rider once, and then someone's like, oh, you like Kamen Rider? I was like, yeah, I've been watching since Blade. And then next, it's like I started doing research, going right on YouTube, typing in Kamen Rider this season or that season. I'm like, oh, there's a small niche for like this. So I was like, I'll make some videos. Why not? Did the easy route to get the views, reaction videos. And I and a lot of people get mad at me because I flat out say, I was like, yes, I appreciate all the people who follow, subscribed, and like those videos, but I hated every second recording and making those reaction videos because I'm recording my first reactions. I want to sit down and just watch the episode and enjoy it. And you know, I got to worry about camera angles and the lighting. And I was like, and then editing, and I hated it so much. That's why like slowly I'm like, all right, let me get to review style like Zio does, because I'm like, I just want to review it. I don't want to do these like reactions because I'm not giving my opinion on what's happening. And then I noticed in the analytics, people would watch the reactions, but more people were watching the actual end of the video where I was reviewing the stuff. So I'm like, I'll just do that. And then the manga stuff, that's always, I mean, manga, it's in toys. So like I do all that stuff, and I tell everyone I'm not the best for advice because I've had my YouTube channel since YouTube started. There's a lot of private videos on here. My channel was a tattoo channel when I first started it. It was all just tattoo videos. Obviously, all of them are now private because of copyrights, because of music playing in the tattoo shops. But that's all it is. I have about 15 hours worth of tattoo videos on there, and I'm just like, and I'm the worst of it because I have people ask me, "Oh, I want to start a channel." I'm like, do it, make your videos. Like in your Discord too. I'm like, hey, look at this person who's making videos. They have like 300 videos, like 50 subscribers. I'm like, their videos are good. I'll give them some advice on like an editing standpoint. But I'm like, I can't give good advice. Like I still kind of go against the TokuTuber label because that's kind of like a bubble. They were reviewers and enjoyers of show, but it's like you like other stuff. There's other content out there. There's other like, so yeah. I accidentally fell into this. I'm still accidentally doing it because I'm not good at it. I suck at it. I really do. Like, dude, I'm so bad at it. Like that's why I'm like, okay, I'll make up for like the bad quality videos with good camera quality.
Don't forget your amazing
It's a Michael
voice.
Bay film. It's a Michael Bay film. All flash, no substance.
Don't forget the voice. The voice is good.
Oh, the voice. This is.
I need that narrating voice.
That's my bread and butter. It's my smooth jazz voice. You
There
should
you
hear me
go.
in work calls. You should hear me in work conference calls. Like I go super like
Low and deep.
low, real low.
Yeah.
I go Morgan Freeman.
No, I would say in my aspect, I had been doing videos on YouTube for a while, and I just decided to like start up another channel and just focus on like geek related stuff. And the thing is, like on my channel before I like privatized all my videos, there's videos going back to like 5 years and stuff, and I'm actually gonna show a little bit of
Is it
the
the burger?
stuff that I
No.
Wait,
no,
is it the
no.
Big Nasty Burger?
No, it's not the Big Nasty, but that's on
Oh.
another channel.
Hashtag
I've
bring
never
back
seen
Big
this
Nasty.
before.
Big Nasty Burger. Let's see it.
Wasn't
No,
it
no,
free K? Wasn't it
no.
free K?
So essentially, like one of the first things that I did, and this is look at that. This is E3 Bingo, Microsoft, like 2017. So this was 5 years ago, where me and a buddy were just sitting around my apartment watching the Microsoft E3 press conference and doing like bingo the entire time and all that stuff. So obviously, it's shit quality. It's shit quality. You got to start somewhere, right?
Do you have the footage playing? Because you
Yes.
could see me. You could see me in the crowd if you look hard enough. Like in more than
Oh,
3.
No,
Yeah.
so this actually would have like the actual press conference and stuff playing
I see
around.
Barkito.
Yeah, my dog's over there in the background and all that stuff. So yeah, it's like this is a private video that is on this same channel. It's just obviously you can't see it for obvious reasons. I privatized that shit. But then outside of gaming, I tried doing other things. I tried launching a podcast with some other friends where we would just be
Lonzio.
talking about I don't even know who that guy is. Maybe that's a future persona. We don't know.
Theo Blanco.
we gotta break this down really quick.
Or is this a
okay?
past persona?
He's wearing a
this
Superman
is OG
shirt.
podcast style video setup. You got the screen display in the back, in the corner,
Yep.
but still dead center of the frame, like it should be. You got the organized and very symmetrical comic book covers, as well as a big like that. The little tables with the mics on there, drinking glasses. I noticed more drinking glasses than there are members on the podcast.
Yeah, we would have this thing in the beginning where we would have we would do things like scenes from a hat where we would we would write words, put them in a hat, and whatever word gets picked up, anytime that word is uttered while we are talking, we have to do a swig.
This is literally like
Oh my.
for that time frame. This is peak video podcast setup. I only know because I have videos privated
What are those
that
two
have the same
snowballs?
exact setup. Oh no. But both were white. I had the snowball from the Yeti, but this is, and also the Snyder Superman logo style shirt.
Yep.
Always a good touch. But yeah, this is like how all the video podcasts were in that time frame. And
Ooh, look at that
Kudos.
old logo.
Yeah, and this was 4 years ago. Only
Oh,
50 views
jeez.
on this video that I did in that same apartment as before. And even then, when I moved on to my first house, like this was like still another one. This is only the third episode of the same podcast, and it's just me and my friend chilling, just talking Pokemon and doing bingo once again because this time we're doing things.
dude, I'm just saying right now, TokuTonic Shift. Next year we do a Super Sentai bingo for the press conference.
Ooh,
Oh,
Ooh,
Ooh.
count me in.
or
nostalgia.
a shot for every time.
Or
that
Jeopardy.
You're right. on there. So
Mark, don't.
So yeah, even then, like this video, only 4 views 3 years ago. So you're completely going down like the rabbit hole when it comes to like a lot of this stuff. It's like 5 years of content that just didn't go anywhere.
What's in the Ultra Ball?
I think it's a Eevee, right?
This Ultra Ball, because I still got
Oh,
it.
you still have it. Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's still on the desk. It's still on the desk. It's just a different house. That's my first house that I rented.
Oh,
So
nice.
So yeah, look, the thing is, it's just like my issue that I had when I first started off was I was going too broad. Like I was trying to do just about too many things geek culture related. And one of the best advices that I've ever gotten was just pick your niche. Find one thing that you're completely passionate about and that you can speak to, and then just focus on that. So one day I just decided I'm going to nuke the channel. I'm just going to privatize all these videos, wait for something to come around. And, you know, the Shin Kamen Rider first teaser dropped like that day. And I was just like, this is it. Like I saw it drop and I was like, this is going to be the first video that I put out. And, you know, did it using my OBS setup, because during 2020, you know, a lot of people were like jobless and stuff like that. I decided to try and take up Twitch streaming, which for the longest time only got me like maybe 1 or 2 viewers a stream, things like that. Even then, when I bought this house and I set up this room, I set it up as a like streaming setup. I didn't set it up for doing YouTube videos or anything like that, because I started making YouTube videos after I got this house. That's why like I've got my green screen that just pulls down. Like this was completely set up for live streaming. But then the entire thing afterwards was, hey, if I focus on the YouTube comments and just start working on this, maybe something will happen. And my first video, you know, got like 100 views overnight. And I was like, oh shit, what the fuck? What's going on? And then I was just like, this is it. This is how I got to keep up with things. But the thing is, it's just like, as a, I got to say, YouTube has some great analytics and insights in terms of you, if you're trying to get into doing content creation, what works, what doesn't work, and just how to build your identity from there. Like, where does your audience drop off when it comes to your views? Are they subbing when your videos drop, or are they subbing like overnight, to kind of gauge those analytics of where they come from? And a lot of it is, you know, I self-taught myself when it came to a lot of this stuff when it comes to video editing. When you look at like my first videos, I was literally just pressing the record button off OBS and having my camera just off of that, versus the entire convoluted setup that I've got now, where it's recording on a camera, export that from the SD card, I extract my audio separately. You know, it's an entire learning process. You're not going to know this completely day one. So you got to be ready to fail. Honestly, that's the entire thing. From any real life experience that you get, you're going to fail. Don't take that as a knocking towards you as a creator, or even as an individual. Take that as a learning opportunity to get better. And that's what comes along with content creation. So
you should go look at my channel, look at the freaking early videos I did for Toku. Oh my God. It was so bad.
Just
Like,
cringy.
and I leave them up. I leave them up too, because like I remind myself, like, even though I'm still really
Don't forget your roots.
Out of the 3 main people who have channels here, you guys have channels too. I don't, Cloudy and Nexus, I don't know how deep in Toku stuff you guys played ongoing, but if you look, I have the smallest numbers really. But like I even go back and look at the first stuff I had done, and now when I like, wow, look at the growth, look at the change. I even see a lot of my older videos still getting views, and I'll go back and look, okay, why did something from 2 years ago still get a view? Was it clickbait? No. What are they watching? And I'll see the watch time, and I'll go to the video and watch where a lot of people are watching, and I'm like, why'd I stop presenting content like this over the last 2 years? This is apparently something that's still appealing to people.
Like,
what you snorting over there, Cloudy?
Nothing.
Oh,
Okay.
You're gonna get the noise.
No, because like for me, this is not with YouTube, but it's with my app that.
Oh, hold on.
I was waiting. It was delayed.
I was waiting too.
Damn it!
$10 from Graf. Had to for the Zeo lore we just got. Keep going at it, King. Hope to see you keep taking names in Denny's parking lots. Galaxy Blade is still back there.
He's stuck in that wall.
Yeah. All right. Nexus, you were saying.
Yeah, so I don't use YouTube, and I'm not someone that's able to create videos because I'm not that experienced with it. And also, since I'm still currently like in my life at a stage of my life that I'm still trying to make some important decisions, I wanted to do something fun. And actually, to be honest, this Mule account, I was actually off of this account for about 2 to 3 years. Like I started early around 2015, 2016. And then I tried a little bit, but I wasn't getting many subscribers following. I only got like about 100, and it wasn't that much because I had to choose the specific music genre that I wanted to do. And I only did K-pop because since that was only the thing I knew, but then it's very competitive, and because of that it's really difficult, and also you get judged by your voice. Like if you're not good at singing, of course you will never get like the followers because they want to sing with people that are actually really good. So that also brought my confidence down a little bit. And also I tried doing like different niches to see whether I could like develop in different music areas. So I did actually do some very old tokusatsu openings. So like for example, I did a cover of Zoojer before, and it was not as bad, but then still it wasn't showing what I wanted. So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a break. Like I don't want to like try, and let me just take
Oh
a
no,
good
we lost
break and
Mark.
see.
Again?
No.
Oh no.
He's
Is
dead.
his internet acting up again?
Yeah, it must be.
Probably.
Great.
All this is telling me is that I think we need to have a Toku's Got Talent where we just become judges and see what Toku talent people have. Are you singing? Are you giving us a henshin pose? What do you got? That's
Yeah.
the
See that?
So
I'd be down for that. I'll be the Simon Cowell of
took
that.
a
I want to see that.
yeah, so I took a break, and I actually started this account very recently, like about a
Mark, what
year
happened?
ago.
I don't know. I'm not even touching anything, and it just went.
Man.
Oh no.
I'm using the gaming laptop. Sorry to interrupt.
And it's
my
always
friend.
me. Every time I talk, there will always be some kind of interruption.
I'm using my gaming laptop right now because I gotta
Nah.
fix the PC. I gotta put some more RAM in it, but this one has like 16 gigs of RAM and an i7. It's juicy, but I don't know what's going on. Like I don't know. It's
Buymoreram.com.
I have 32 gigs on the desktop. I don't need any more.
Here we go.
All right, go on.
All right, Nexus.
Yeah. So I tried to like then I started to try like I think 2019. That was when COVID was starting to like hit, and I was like, why not I bring it back up? Like, let's see if I can make some collabs. So then I did, and I started to look at the really recent like songs. So like for example, the very recent like K-pop songs, and but during that time I was into tokusatsu, so I was like, oh, why don't I try Gaim's opening. So like I did Gaim's Rambo escalation cover, and then actually I got 5 invites, like 5 people joined me, and I was like, wait, that's more than I've ever gotten. And then I started to be very specific in like what songs I had to sing. For example, like recently there's this survival show that's happening, so I've been specific in trying to sing the songs from the survival show in order to get followers, because now it's more popular. So people look at this survival show and listen to the songs, so they want to sing these survival songs. And I realized that I started to get followers, and I was like, oh, okay, let me try this a bit more. And then I started to enjoy singing, and I just enjoyed it myself because since I'm like my singing, and I don't care what people say about my voice anymore. It's a passion. It's a passion that I grew ever since I was young, and I want to keep on doing it. And it looks like people has responded to my feelings, and because of that, I've jotted from like 400 now to 800. So I'm really happy about it that people understand what I feel like, because I would always, every time like people join, I'll be like, oh, thank you for joining, hope we can sing next time. So yeah, it takes a while, and I think as Zio said, it needs to be something that you're passionate about and passionate of what you want to do. So me able to be passionate about my singing and just having fun instead of feeling the pressure of people joining is actually what I learned. And I'm just glad that I'm doing it. And I want to continue and see what else can I do, because also, since some of the singing is in different languages, since it's in Korean and Japanese, it also actually helps me learn different new languages and be more broad and then able to speak to more people, because now I'm singing also a lot of J-pop, and then as I said, I'm also singing a lot of tokusatsu, and then there's actually people who are just Japanese. They're just texting me in Japanese and saying, "Oh, I really like your singing, and I hope you can join me." So that I would always just use Google Translate and just reply to them and say, "Yeah, I would love to sing with you again." So this niche is really nice, and just find somewhere that you're passionate and just start from there. Take your time, go slow, and then you'll just slowly get to it in a ways.
So, Sakura Tor, I guess this is directed at you. Wonder if being a woman or if English may not be a first language, if it's easier or harder for what you do.
Um, okay, so actually, if I have to go into IRL, like really backstory, I had a disability. Like, my English was actually not that good. I barely could even speak. So how I got into like the music and stuff was because my parents, they actually introduced me to use doing arts, like arts, performance, drama, in order to help me to express English. So I actually only started to be better in English when I was about like in primary, like primary, secondary. So because of that, um English sometimes I don't even consider it as my first language, but it is my first language. But since I'm mixed in like I speak Chinese. I'm actually half English, half Chinese. So I speak also many languages. So I speak English, Mandarin, and Cantonese. And also, just me learning all of these languages, it just makes me feel happy, because I like talking to other people and just listening to their own thoughts, whether they are um like British or any type of race. I just like discussing and having communication with people. So that's why I do like learning like different languages and just speaking with people. And it can be hard at first, but as you keep on talking, then you know what type of words to use and how to communicate with others. And it was difficult when I was learning a new language. Like, actually currently I'm actually very good at Japanese. Like, I'm not bragging, but maybe I am. But
No frag.
basically
Still frag.
Humble brat.
Yeah, there it
Humble
is.
brat.
There it
yeah,
is.
but
Mhm.
I'm actually, because since I'm watching all of this tokusatsu, and I actually also watch a lot of Japanese dramas. My Japanese is actually becoming not as bad as I can. I can't read the kanji, like I can't read the characters, but as some characters are very similar to Chinese, I do understand what it means. So just learning all these languages and um just having fun, and also able to watch and broaden your horizon, I think it's just one of the best feelings that I can enjoy and feel about. So yeah, it is difficult, but as I keep on persevering and just understanding other people's thoughts and understanding other people's like language, because a lot of people praise me about how I can still continue with like my Mandarin and Cantonese, but for me, I just want to do it so that I can just communicate. That's all I want to do. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
And in terms of language, look, I see chat talking. Sí, yo hablo español, el primer lenguaje mío. So, sí. So Spanish is my first language. And yes, it's like, I know you can't tell from how well I speak English. But yeah, I learned English when I was 8 years old. And it's very common, especially like in the US. Like I was in Connecticut until I was 11 years old in a bilingual society over there, but then I moved down to Georgia where it was unilateral, more English than anything. So that all had to change. So I had to definitely adapt a lot more to English, especially where I grew up at. Definitely picked up a little bit more Ebonics than anything. So, um, so yeah, Crazy Orb, shut up.
And to Sakura
saw
Tora,
that.
who just wrote the Japanese, 本当にありがとうございます.
Oh yeah, something about
She was
amazing?
just like sugoi this, so that's amazing. So I was just
That
saying
was nice.
thanks.
I got the word amazing. I didn't get the rest of it because I'm still learning. I can't understand when people say anything, but thanks to me getting the Televikun magazines and Duolingo, I'm getting pretty good at reading.
You doing them scores every day? You over here trying to?
I tried Duolingo. It
scores?
didn't work
I
for
missed
me.
You have to do it every day, and you can't just do one lesson.
Oh,
You have to
that's
spend at least an hour, hour and a half every day. And if you miss a day, the app yells at you. Like the app has been like,
yeah. I don't
really
have that
calling me,
time.
like,
I
names.
can't.
No, I wish I spoke other languages. I mean, I do know some Native American stuff, but that's like that's like a pain in the ass to like try and like pull that like out of the back of my brain.
Cloudy, you're from an island, a different island than me, but
Mhm.
how's your life been in terms of like language and all that?
I didn't speak English till I think I was 5. I grew up speaking a lot of Pidgin. When I got older, I spoke a lot more French, and then eventually I learned Creole from my like Haitian side. And then after I like moved to proper English school, every now and again I had to learn English, which that was its own hassle. I didn't really like it, and I still don't to this day. And I speak with an English accent because most of the time I don't speak English in my private life.
Ah, I did not
So,
know that.
Dory Cloudy,
I
when I
didn't
run
know
for
that
mayor of
either.
your town, I will make sure English is mandatory.
No, that's fine. Oh, weird talent. I can read kanji.
Oh.
I need to learn from you because I want to read
So if you
kanji. But I
guys do like
can't.
the fusion dance, you guys are all set
There you go.
for 30 minutes.
Become Baron Ashura from Mazinger Z. There you go.
I will say to the original question about like, you know, if being a woman or if English may not be your first language, if it's easier or harder for a lot of stuff, especially content creating. Yes and no. I recently started putting my videos in 8 different languages now. Because I found a way on YouTube where I can take the English subtitles and get them exported, fix them up, make them proper, even though it doesn't match what I'm saying because my grammar sucks, and then auto-populating the translations into, I put them now in Japanese, Spanish, and a few other languages because I'm like, well, Toku's getting more popular in other countries and content creating, and it's like, that's why I think also helped my most recent King Oja video because it's in subtitles in 8 different languages. But it's one of those things where it's like, I watch a lot of videos that aren't even in English. I watch a lot of Japanese toy review videos and stuff like that that have
Same
English
for me.
subtitles and like the tourist videos around Japan because I plan on going. Poquito. Oh, man, I'm not that good in Spanish. I took it for 4 years, but like in living in San Diego, I've gotten better, but my enunciation is just horrible most of the time. And learning the grammar of Spanish compared to English, I get sub stuff like backwards, especially when you do the different like so stuff like that at the end of words really throws me off. But one of my friends who I made a friend in Japan from watching his YouTube videos, and now that's who my Japanese like connect is for toys. Like I was watching his videos, commenting in English, and then next thing you know, it turned into DMs. Next thing you know, it turned into emails. Now it turns into like we talk a couple times a week, just shooting the shit. And like he now, when I'm like, hey, I'll PayPal you some money if you see any toys coming out, and he's like, hey, I found these. You want those? I'm like, yeah, how much? And I'm like, I'll throw a little extra in there, FedEx them to me. And so I don't really feel like now in 2023 there's as much as a language barrier because this is someone I've been talking to now for almost 2.5 years.
Oh,
and
wow.
with Google Translate and everything else, it's very like I feel like language isn't as much as a barrier or anything to be a detriment or something that should even cause you to hesitate anything content creating anymore.
And I would say on the content creation front and what you were like insinuating there is networking and connection can definitely be a good clutch when it comes to getting into things, but it's not the end all be all. Like I would say like a lot of the time for me, I was like writing my own path for the longest time. A lot of people didn't even know I existed until I started getting close to 1,000 subs, and that was just me riding on my own like train type deal. But don't like, just because you didn't get the collab that you didn't want or anything like that at a low sub, you shouldn't take that as disparaging. Just see that as more growth opportunity. Get yourself out there and more known, or in my case, like infamous in some instances, that people will, you know, pay attention to you in a way to when you actually do reach out, that you'll get that attention. And the thing is, I'm someone that typically in my feed now, after I started getting into this, I get recommended other like Toku content creators, or even just content creators that just don't have a lot of views in their videos. Like they might not have a lot of subs or anything like that. The algorithm just goes like, you keep checking out a lot of these folks that just have like low subs, low views. Here's someone that's been doing this for like years, and they, you know, they're still at it. And it's just like, I'll pop into their comments section and just be like, bro, just keep doing what you're doing.
The funniest anecdote is Zio commented on one of my podcast videos of all things, not a Toku video, saying, and he was like, hey, I'm thinking about starting a podcast. And I was like, normal, my response, because like I don't get comments. This is what, year, half ago?
Just about, yeah.
And that's like, and I was different. Like Zio, like I noticed you just now, you do, but you were really off social media. And the kitten is attacking my tripod because she's a little bitch. And so I was on social media more than I was doing YouTube stuff. Like, yeah, I had community posts I could do this, that, but I really didn't like focus on any of that stuff. Like, I wasn't really like, I'd rather have the foundation of making my videos and the community side of things put some effort into at some point. And so I was big on social media. So when I first started, I had a lot of people that wanted to like collaborate with me and this or that. And I was being asked to guest on a lot of stuff. And I was like, that's cool and all, but it's like, I'm still figuring out who I am as a content creator, like how, like, and the thing is, how you present yourself on your videos, live streams, this and that matters. So it's like, if I'm gonna go on someone else's kitten, stop, little cunt. No, YouTube changed the TOS for swearing. Okay, I'm just saying they loosened up the collar, so we could say swears again.
Hells yes.
So it changed, like, because I was like, well, I don't know how I'm going to present myself as like a guest on your shit, because I'm still trying to figure out how I'm presenting myself on my own content. So
like
if you're starting off,
I rarely do collabs, so it's kind of nervous going on someone else's stuff and seeing what others will think of me.
I vibe well with everybody in Discords and this and that. Like, I mean, there's the small group that just hate me, and I'm okay with that. But like, there's like how I get along with people, but it's like from creating content, it's like I don't want to, especially when I was starting out, it's like, listen, like I don't want to ruin your channel and stuff. Like I don't know what I'm doing right now. So like, and it was people who, yes, I watched some of their content, but I was like, I haven't seen enough of their content to know like how what I would bring to the table for something, you know? It's so I always tell everyone to start out, like, don't worry about collaborations. Like, honestly, this is like the only thing I do that's really collaborating with anyone. It's less I bring someone on my podcast, but that's different because that's like a guest on a show. That's not us creating content together. So I tell everyone, don't even worry about collaborations. Like, don't like, because it can help you grow and get your name out there. But at the same time, it's just like, focus on your content. If you're collaborating to get more people to look at your content, but you're not fine tuning and figuring out what you want to make, then like, take a step back.
True.
Because that's what I did. I felt bad because I did so many collaborations when I started, because I was like, I was just doing reactions at the time, and I'm like, through those collaborations, I'm like, oh yeah, guys, I'm not doing reactions anymore. So all that content, all the stuff I did on all the collaborations, like, fuck you, I'm not doing that stuff anymore.
Yeah, and I wanted to like build my brand first before even getting to the stage that we're currently at right now in terms of doing these live streams. Was just like, I got to build the base, I got to build like the community, the following, get people to know me a little bit better before I start introducing other people into the sphere and like start like getting these branches a little bit out there. Because the thing is just like Toku in itself is a niche, and those of us that like create content within this community are a niche of a niche. And the thing is, it's just like, how do we expand from there and get ourselves a little bit more known? And it's just like, it's definitely possible. There's a lot of smaller creators out there that I'm like more than willing to extend an invite link to come onto these live streams as well, to just, you know, once again, get people to like know who you are, know your brand, what kind of stuff you do in regards to like the Toku space, and go from there. But once again, I had to first focus on my own content first before going into this. And I sacrificed a typical Friday gaming stream that I would do with everybody on the Discord to just do something like this in the sake of just like more entertainment and more content and more like, you know, recognition for other folks as well, because it's not just me tooting my own horn, or else this would just be literally me on screen the entire time during it, as opposed to me passing the buck and having y'all have your proper like stake in the conversation, as conversation should be.
Well, the funny thing is, I looked at the DMs, we started talking about this in August.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Whew,
We don't mention the shows we watch because has nothing to do with Toku stuff, but like it was brought up in Discord that I was like, ever since this was mentioned, like the DM was like, ever since you mentioned this, I was like, man, that would work. No one's doing that for Toku. And then it was just like, and then it was just like months of just nothing about planning it, and then it's like, oh, we should start doing that. How do you think about Fridays? And it's like, all right. Then it's like, what's the names? And it's like, boom, 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 and it was just like a domino of just, and that's something, because like that's what you find people who aren't like-minded, because the conversations are going to be very one-sided and boring. You find people who share interests, and then you put the feelers out. Hey, what do you think about a show?
Exactly.
I feel like it's a little dangerous too sometimes.
It is.
Well,
just for like
well, the thing is, like, there's a vetting process to everything. Before I even started doing all this, like, I tell you guys all, like, at least the ones that are in my Discord server, like those of you that are mods, like, every day is an interview process, because like in my own personal life, I'm a manager. So when I talk to people, I'm secretly like, just we're really doing an interview the entire time. And I am judging you on face value, vocals, everything about you as a person. Depending on how all of those conversations go, that determines whether or not I see you fit to be, like, say, a moderator on my Discord server. It's the same thing when I hire somebody for a job. It's the same thing in terms of like bringing someone onto this show. It's like, once again,
how did I ever get on this show then?
Oh my god, we had arguments. You were originally going to join my Discord server to troll me, and then you got taken aback by just how it wasn't that way. You know,
that is not at all what happened.
And now we're in the Red Velvet arc.
But wording, I guess, for people who do eventually make content, depending on what platform you do, it's don't let your community ever get too personal or too into you. It's not the best of feelings. I thought you were gonna say
toxic.
Oh no, I would say do you guys want to hear my backstory as far as content creation? Because I was not a YouTuber. I was never a YouTuber, if that makes any sense. I was always a Twitch streamer first.
Okay.
So this is really not too long ago, actually. This was probably like 2 years ago. I used to be a League streamer. I never did like the Toku thing. I used to play League on Twitch a lot, and it actually was working for a time period. I think my highest was like 23 active chat members and stuff. It was not a fun time, I'll say that.
Can I just ask one question? Were you a Teemo main?
No, I played jungle. I was definitely
Cho'Gath?
No.
You don't jungle Cho'Gath? You never jungle Cho'Gath?
I did for trolling purposes, but I was always a Lee Sin or Kha'Zix kind of guy.
I could see that.
I don't know. There's nothing better than watching the life drain out of an enemy's eyes when you invade them level 1 and they cry. But that's not the point. So it's weird because when you play League, there's like this overall sense of like the kind of person people expect you to be. Because if you know anything about like really big League streamers, they're very toxic, very opinionated, very matter of fact kind of people. And like when other people are around you there to see you be that kind of person, it really does change you as a person. And you really, and some people like they'll go with it, but I really don't think like that was healthy, which is kind of why I don't do that anymore. It's really weird. So I've actually been finding it hard to find a niche because I do want to make content again at some point. It's just really hard figuring out something I'm that passionate about, or for that matter, that good at, because that was the only reason I streamed League, because that was the only thing I was really good at that people enjoyed watching.
Could be a Digimon streamer.
I don't want to do that. I haven't even seen season 1, Mark.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh
Fake,
my
fake.
God.
I want to
about
get
that.
into Digimon. I really want to get into it.
But yeah, if anything, I was just saying, just if you get into content creation, just please be careful of being pigeonholed into a niche, because it doesn't really matter what your audience thinks of you. It's what you want to think of yourself.
No,
You're
no,
not gonna
and
be good at it either. Like
and-
for gaming.
and I'll still agree on that point, because when I did do Twitch streaming, I was holed into one game. And the second that I was just like, 2020 was over, and it's just like, look, real games are coming out. I'm going to drop this game and go play some Monster Hunter. Like,
Nice.
everybody's like, whoa, when are you going to go back to playing this game? It's just
Was
like,
it
I don't want
Fortnite?
to. I'm done.
Was it,
No,
was it
I was playing a free-to-play game on Switch, Ninjala. And I was
love
like,
Ninjala. What's so
And
good?
I was-
Why does
I
that sound
streamed
so
that too.
familiar?
and
It's a
I
very
was
fun
like
game.
a prominent person in that community sphere type thing, and I was just like, I'm done with this. I'm done with this community in a sense. And I was just like, I'm gonna go do other things. I'm gonna play real games, like actual games are coming out.
They're doing a crossover with Ninjala with something else right now.
Oh.
still
I didn't
keep
even
up
know
with
that
it.
game was still around.
Oh, it still
It
is.
is.
Yeah.
Why
I
does
saw
it sound so
people on
familiar?
my-
Where have I heard that from?
It's the free
Probably
to
a
play
Nintendo Direct.
Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, it's
Oh
like a
my
fake
goodness.
Splatoon with
Yeah,
bubblegum
but
kids.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
But
gonna
no,
try-
I'm proud of, as someone who was also a League streamer, but also felt you don't have to be good. Like, well, I
No.
was good. Obviously, I was amazing because I was
Oh,
freaking
did
Twisted
you-
Fate solo mid because I'm amazing. The only time I'm mid in my life is when I run that lane.
Oh.
That's it.
boasting.
Really? Twist of Fate solo mid?
Yeah,
yeah.
no.
Easy to
ADP.
counter.
I know you're saying no,
Ouch.
not easy. Listen, Cloudy. I don't want to hurt your
God.
feelings live on the internet. It's forever. So when I streamed,
much
I was
skill.
playing Call of Duty, and I'm bad at it. So you don't have to pick something you're good at to play. Because I was horrible at that game, but I was pulling in the most viewers ever to the point where I hit affiliate my first month streaming.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And-
The problem with that is like you become like an EDP, and I don't want to be like someone that people watch, or a dark side filled, because I don't want to be like that kind of person that like
For
people
starters,
watch just because they're
Do you
bad.
see this physique? I
don't
neither
know.
of
You
them.
froze.
I saw that.
froze.
Hold on.
Oh, you just
You-
froze looking at your shirt.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god, got him. You're still in the same
No,
shot.
I,
Man,
What the
it's
hell?
bad.
Hold on.
I've beaten him so hard. He can't even show up on
Yep,
screen anymore.
that physique is frozen, like
It is,
in a
uh,
disgust face.
I'm
The
sorry.
timing is so perfect.
It's
I
great,
apologize.
amazing.
I just wanted
This
to
is
say,
peak content, guys.
Mark, the only reason I would say like I know that you can be good or get quality viewers for playing games you're not good at. I have friends who still do that. I don't like playing games I'm not good at in front of other people, so I'll never do that because I get very annoyed when I'm doing really poorly at a game. So you'll never catch me doing that.
I was playing
I'm just-
terrible in my game, but that's
No,
because I was getting
this is-
drunk while doing it.
Well, I mean,
I'm just not a talkable
What?
person while gaming. I'll focus on the game unless I'm playing something like fun, like stunt racing in GTA. Then I'll banter or something like that.
Yeah.
True.
hashtag
I can't
bring back
play an
the
RPG
nasty.
while streaming. I can't do it. Like I got to be engrossed in that storyline.
I don't know
that's
how
why-
people could do that or MMOs because I used to
No.
try and stream Final Fantasy 14, and I was
Oh,
like,
I did
don't
that
know.
too. It was not
Dude,
easy at all.
It
not
was.
easy.
I was like, I can't. Keep
Although
up with
14
chat.
is fun as hell. It was. one of the funny
I
ones.
miss that game sometimes.
Is Raid Shadow Legends still doing sponsorships? Yo, hit me
Yes,
up.
they are actually.
Yeah, they are.
I'll
Oh,
send
they
you a
are,
link if
yeah.
you want one.
Oh,
Big easy $400 for like
But I
2
gotta-
hours.
Hey,
Yeah, send me a link. I want to get paid by them. I heard they pay
I
well.
got 5
They
CSM
do.
to pay
they
off.
pay
So,
pretty well.
hey,
A friend of mine did a 3-hour stream, made $680,
It's pretty good.
boy.
and he
Good free
averaged
money.
maybe 12 viewers.
I would say another thing, getting back into the content creation side of things, is like you're gonna get your haters as well.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it doesn't
Of
matter.
course,
Like
of course.
it doesn't matter what you say on there. You can be as factual as you think. You're still gonna get some people on there that's gonna say, "Well, this is wrong," or "That's not what it says." I had someone recently on my Discord server who just hit like 1K subs, but he was trying to deal with the haters in his own comment section. It's just like, look, sometimes it's legitimately a troll just trying to get under your skin. I get a couple of those myself, and it happens. The entire thing is just like you either
for a reason.
you either ignore it or you just just try and play it smart. It's whatever you do with it. And the thing is, it's like the larger you grow, the bigger of a target you're going to grow on your back in some instances, because it's like some people will just be like, I don't like the content that they make. So it's a realistic thing.
I still get DMs and some people mad when we were talking about toxicity in the Toku communities. People are still messaging me about that freaking live stream, being like, you were out of line with what you said, and I'm like, you should apologize. I'm like, for what? I said all facts.
You spoke the truth.
I was like, I'm 37. Like, I have been around a lot longer. I have more life experience. Like, trust me, this is a fact. This is what it was. And I was like,
He's literally double my age or even more.
I will say this. Wait, what? No, that's not true at all, actually.
I'm not
That's
saying my
not true,
age, but yeah.
There's, what's it called? I'll just say this. It's kind of funny because League, your haters are your fans. There's no difference.
hey, they hate watch. So, I mean, it's still analytics
Exactly.
at the end of the day. They're numbers.
True.
But I
It's
want to
like-
say one thing, that even though you have these haters, I want you to still keep on going. Like, it's something that you like, and it's something that you want to do, and as a person, and you enjoy as part of like your relaxation in life, and just how you want to express yourself. Like, you can't allow that these haters just to win over you. Like, that will be what they want. So I just say that if you ever had a time in the life that like, oh, all these haters are coming and I'm just like, oh, I'm stuck in this position and I don't know what to do, reach out to your community or just reach out to some close friends and just chat to them so that you don't feel alone, and just persevere. Like, you shouldn't back out just because of one or two comments. To me, like, you should become stronger as a person and just go for it in a ways.
Or
Another thing to that is also, for some folks, don't take content creation as your job from the get-go. Don't go that route, because you're gonna be disappointed if you say you leave your job, you dedicate your entire effort to this. Start it off as a hobby. Do it for fun. Don't do it with
a
the
hobby for me.
I have friends who did this with live streaming on Twitch, and I was against it. Like, content creating never will be like, I'm sorry, content creating cannot match my salary. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah,
I'm
same,
still-
yeah.
It
Content
would
creators
never,
is
would it?
not my salary right now.
What
Well,
Nexus
only if
said
you're massive.
works with the whole hater things, or you can go my route. Okay, you find their IP address, right?
And
And
then,
then
you
you mail them a signed 8x10
God.
saying best wishes on it. Like the person
Exactly.
who kept trying to hack my Discord over the last 4 weeks. Your 8x10 should have arrived by now, by the way. And or you just invite them to Waffle House or Denny's. Choose your violent setting. Those are both really good Mortal Kombat maps. But no, it's one of the things, like when I first started out, like the videos are private now due to claims and this, that, but I was getting comments, oh, you're the Wish version of this TokuTuber. Oh, this is what happens when you ask your mom for this YouTuber, this is what you get instead. I've had people say, oh, there's only room for one person who has the name Mark in their username to be a TokuTuber. And I'm like, dude, Marco Satsu and me are chill. Like, I have no issue. Like, why is that a comment? Like, I think he's obviously, I can never do long, drawn out video essays. Like, I can't do that. So more power to anyone who could do a video essay, because I can't. I'll start slurring and freaking stuttering like 5 minutes in.
Yeah, same, yeah.
So you're gonna get a lot of comments like that. But then I started to see it as like compliments. Oh, you're like, okay, this person has X amount of subs. You're comparing me to their content that I'm a lesser version. Well, I do have less subs, but it's like you're still comparing me.
Yep.
And so it's one of those things where it's like after a while I just like ignored it, because I would reply back and I'd be like, oh, DM me, let's settle this. Like, if you want to talk big on the internet, I'm always ready to take it outside. and it just stopped after a while. And then even now, I do still get some of it like that, and it's one of those things where it's like Nexus, like you said, you do your thing, then 5 people are viewing, then all these people are like, oh, I want 8 people. Like it's one of those things like for every one person who's going to try and shit on you, there's a handful of people who are just seeing you for the first time, being like, this is
Graph has a point right here.
dude. I got to take new ones with the hat though. I need one with the hat. Once I can hear again. And
Yeah, where's your hat that you wore like
ruptured
a
eardrum?
stream or two? It was
can't
so
put
nice.
earbuds in. I can't put earbuds in right now because
I just have a question. Can I get a signed 8x10, please?
Can you put it on a DGP card, a Wish card?
Please?
Okay, I ordered a bunch of those off of Buyee.
Oh.
I got like a stack of like 20 of them for like $8.
Send me a link to. I got a wish for some Sononi bathwater.
Oh.
You can't write it in English on the card though.
Oh.
I'll
rip.
I'll do the reverse of what the people that did the Kuga manga did in the US. There you go.
Oh, Mark.
I can't wait for our follow-up on that on the show when the new one comes out.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention, Mark, my Tokudet might skyrocket. I did something the other day that I probably should regret.
Why?
So on the wall that I have my swords hung on, I couldn't decide which of the regular sword, the saber, the blaze, or the espada sword to hang. So I got 2 more.
Listen, okay. Can we turn this into a Toku intervention?
No.
Because I was the biggest Saber fan and Saber defender even while it was airing. I think Claudia surpassed me now.
I wouldn't say I'm a bigger Saber fan than you. I just...
Sir, how many swords do you own now?
5.
Ask me how many I own.
0.
Exactly.
Damn.
Well, you see, the thing is, Mark, how many Saber Sotos do you own?
I have the whole collection.
All right. How many Saber Sotos do I own?
That's different. All those the whole set of all the Saber Sotos equals 2 of those swords.
And it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Claudio, I'll make you a
You guys can have this argument later.
He gets a Super Saber.
Oh wait, that
group in
reminds
Discord
me.
Now.
My Tokudet. Oh god, I forgot. I actually have.
I think I have a big Toku deck as well since I just started buying Toku stuff this year. Oh my god!
Next week, live on the show. Intervention.
December.
Well, I'm winning because of
going
Australian currency because I bought the Memorial Don Blast and the Memorial Geerlinger, and I've still got King Ojo Max on the way.
Zio expects a
I got the
video
King
from me
Ojo
because I
too.
bought the DGP jacket.
You bought that.
You
You make that video in that fucking jacket.
Yeah.
bought
Yeah.
the Digimon jacket. Oh god.
You did this to yourself. Okay.
Yep. You bought
No,
that
but
exclusive ass jacket.
But I like it. Okay, so I take it.
You watch that
I
thing
keep
once,
it.
I bet that shit's gonna be torn to shreds like something from Hot Topic.
Oh my god!
It really is.
Torn to shreds.
I'm just gonna
To
do a
shreds, you
video of me opening the closet and all the swords fall out and stab me.
Anyway, so we are getting close to the 3-hour mark. So in terms of content creation and things like that, look, passion project, just do it on the side.
Yeah,
Honestly,
if you love it, do it.
yep.
Just have fun with
We're
it.
all
That's the
rooting
thing.
for you.
Have
Yeah,
fun.
but really
And
quick.
the thing is, it's yeah, go ahead.
for
Go ahead.
toy reviewers, don't go broke just
Yeah.
to make content either.
No.
Everyone always asks me how do you get you must no, I'm very smart with all that stuff. That's why there's some times where it's I have no new merch to talk about because I will pass up on buying stuff because it's hey, Bill. So I know a lot of people who try and get into the comic book side of content creating or toy reviews and they're buying stuff they don't even like because it's the new that just came out. It's no, go like I do, go to Ross's and find Target clearances or get Elf figures. Elf.
Or
$10.
Jesus
Elf,
Christ.
yes. NECA
Elf.
just released a whole Elf line. Amazing. But
It's just
don't go broke. I've seen so many people
Hmm?
go broke, and this isn't directed at anybody because I know some people just life happens. But then I see on Mercari, I'll see usernames of people that I recognize that are content creators selling a bunch of stuff, not just Toku stuff, just comics, manga, this and that. And it's you just did a video for that, and now you're selling it. And it's one of those things. It's don't put money into it. You don't. That's unnecessary. Like a mic is one thing. I'm using my phone right now because I don't want to ruin my camera. I'm using a phone right now. Like, don't. There's ways. Go on the internet. Go on YouTube. Type in like cheap ways to start up content creating. Like YouTube's really great. That's how I learned my video editing, my audio editing. Do the research. See what niche you like. Go look at videos in that niche and see if you have no ideas of how to make your content, present yourself. See what other people are doing and draw from that. Because eventually I'll use my green screen and I'll have different personalities like Zio. And then we'll have like our own version of Battle Royale.
I'm still waiting for that next year's anniversary video where you promised you'd get a red wig. I'm holding you to that.
I have a note actually to do that.
And then for me, since you guys can hear me better, I invested it in a mic because I was like, okay, I need to do better in my singing because my microphone is starting to break. So I was just like, I should invest in a new mic. And also now since Zio is hooking me up on these streams, I'm like, I think it's the time for me to spend some money on these things. So getting this new mic is actually really nice.
And we still gotta sing that duet.
I want to do it. I want to do it.
I'm gonna invest in some cough medicine. And then
only invest in
Cloudy,
necessities.
please get better.
No,
like you look at some of the most viral stuff out there, and most of the time it's just someone using their phone.
Yeah. Like,
you know,
that's what
like TikTok
was as well.
And even in some instances, like if it is just a hobby, in some instances, like for those of us that have already expensive hobbies, like, you know, all of this stuff, like I said, the pull down green screen, shit like that, all that was like, you know, I'm just trying to have fun, like with the most when it comes to like my Twitch streams and things like that, and just expanding from there. But another aspect of it is like, let's say you're watching, like say Mark's videos or my videos or Ash's videos, and you're like, you know what, I think I can do my own spin on this in a way that I would enjoy. Go for it. No one's stopping you. We're not saying don't do it. Do it. Like that's part of the reason why I got into all this. Is just like I like watching reviews of stuff, but I like how people in that tackle other like multimedia platforms and things like that, like tackle things. So I wanted to put my own spin on reviews for the content versus what I was already seeing on there. It's just like, look, just do it. Literally, if you want to put your own spin on things, and you don't have to be a good like just speaker in general. The majority of my videos I script out myself, and I'm literally just reading what I type out. The thing is, I don't type it like it's something that I wouldn't say naturally. So if you are gonna do something like scripting out videos, write it like you speak. That way it's easier for you to read it.
Or do bullet points and
guidelines.
That's why I do bullet points. Like
if you're concerned about going off on tangents or going on random like rambles and things like that, do that. Write yourself something, put it like visual key next to the camera, so you make sure you stay on message for what your video is going to be. It's going to save you a lot of editing time as well.
And if you do that and you do see one of our videos, comment and let us know, because I had a guy comment on one of my videos and he's like, I think it was like my Go-Go Loser Ranger volume 1 or 2 video, and he's like, oh, I really like this, like I'm gonna check this out and I really want to start like reviewing comics and stuff too. And he's like, watching your videos made me want to do it. I'm like, oh cool, let me know when a video goes up, I want to check it out. So I subscribed to the channel, no videos. Then I got the notification he put one up, and I'm like, and he's just recording on his phone, talking over it, and I'm like, that's really cool. I was like, how are you editing? He's like, I'm editing everything on the phone. I'm like, do you have a computer? He's like, yeah. I'm like, well, down the road you could transfer that, get Google Drive on your phone, upload it to Google Drive, pull it off the computer. DaVinci Resolve's free. And then if you want to talk over it, just mute it and just use your mic. I was like, other than that, I was like, I'm glad to do the videos. I was like, if I can give you any help or anything, you let me know. Because like, if you're taking time out of the way to watch my videos and comment, and then even saying something like I'm some sort of factor in you wanting to do it, you better believe I'm checking out your videos and I'm going to give you advice and help you. There's no way I'm going to like be like, oh, that's cool, fuck off.
It's true.
Meanwhile, what are you dropping over there, Cloudy?
Swords.
No, well, technically,
He's been dropping stuff a lot.
No, this is actually the bottle of vitamins that I've been taking off camera. Anyway, so let's see, what was I doing? Stuff. Anyway.
Graph, I will always mention Go Go Loser Ranger as many times as I can because
Go read Go Go Loser
it is
Ranger.
so
It's
good.
good.
You wouldn't think the guy who wrote Quintessential Quintuplets gave us one of the best one of the best Sentai inspired freaking
I mean, he
mangas.
gave us one
I
of the
kinda
best
wanna
rom-coms ever.
I mean, Quintessential
I kind of
Quintuplets
want to read the
amazing.
scans and catch up and maybe cover it weekly.
I'm trying to
but-
avoid it. I'm trying to avoid it
Yeah,
so
yeah.
much. Same with
It
Kaiju
is
number
cool.
8.
Look,
Oh,
just to
Kaiju
answer this
Ray,
question,
I read when they drop.
the last time I acted in anything was in 3rd grade as an alligator in Once Upon a Lily Pad. That's the only time I've ever acted in anything.
So
Yes.
I'm the theater geek of the group.
I didn't expect that.
I never acted on anything. So
Graph, I'm not sending out.
You're not the only
personalization
theater
right now.
geek in the group.
Yeah, you're not. As I said before, I did acting back when I was young. The last role that I did was Beauty and the Beast. Belle's father. I was actually acting as like Belle's mother in a ways. That
I
was my
did-
last role.
I did
Zio,
5 years of school chorus to be in all
You
the
might
musicals.
remember this. Being from Connecticut. Remember Valari's martial arts?
I don't actually.
I was in one of their commercials doing this. Yeah. And of course, like, because, I was like 8 and Power Rangers was a thing. I was like, I would do martial arts. Like, so like, because it's like a little chain in Connecticut only. Like, we're going to film commercials, do your moves. And I'm just like,
Did you do the
Little
sound
cop.
effects to them too? Like
I
the
did.
You were this close to
did.
being Justin.
yeah, I was
You're
so
like,
close. Listen, you give me like a year, I'll challenge him for the belt.
Shanks in the live action One Piece. Jeez.
It's already been casted, so whatever.
All right.
Anyway, any last second advice when it comes to content creation or anything that we've gone over during this 3-hour live stream on a slow news week, kind of, sort of?
Didn't expect it would go 3 hours.
Exactly. That's how it goes. How it goes sometimes.
This is gonna not ass kissing, but if you want to know the proper way to cover Power Ranger content and combo content and not speculate and sound like a douche, go check out Ash's videos. I personally do not make those videos because I watch yours and I'm like, you know what? I don't need to make a video about this because I've been reading the Power Ranger comics since they started. I've been wanting a video. I'm like, you know what? No, he's doing a great job. I don't need to spend the time video creating all this and editing. But just make the videos. Like if they suck,
Yeah, make what you want to make.
It's true. Have
And
fun.
if you want to do any
and
Blade
also
related
just have
videos, let
fun.
me know.
Oh, I
Yeah,
would have
just
to
have
say, most importantly, also be passionate about what you're doing. Don't do something just because you can.
And if you need to take a break, take a break. I've
Yep.
taken breaks many times when I get burnt out. Like, a week. I'm sure, Zio, you can attest to this because you're technically taking a break from Sentai making videos every week.
I kind of am, but it's not like I'm not working on videos on the back end. The thing is, I'm a terrible person for this because I admit I'm a workaholic. And if I'm not working, I feel like I'm wasting time. Hell, there's been times in which, like, as soon as I unlock community tab, I would be like, apologies, guys, this review's not going to be able to come out on this day because of, like, regular work stuff. And I would feel like I was, like, letting people down. I honestly, like, went through that phase where I was, like, feeling like I was letting people down for not putting out my content at the usual specific time. But real life happens. My actual like day job gets in the way. But the thing is just like, even when I'm not working, I'm working. Because like even being sick this entire week, the other day I had like no sleep because I took a Dayquil at like 9 p.m. and stayed up all night. So I was just like, oh, let me get on the work laptop. And I sent an email to everybody on my work staff at like 4 a.m. And they were like, why did you send us an email at 4 a.m.? Couldn't sleep.
I'm the same way. I have a ruptured eardrum, and I was like, I should take a break and rest, relax. Like I can't hear. I'm like, no, I can still make content.
And then, what is it? I like talking to you guys and talking to you in the stream, and it's currently 4 a.m. on my time zone.
Damn.
Damn.
I'm on the
Yeah,
earliest.
but
or no,
it's because I always like these conversations, and as I said before, I like communicating with other people and listening to other people's thoughts. So yeah, I don't know why, but yeah, it's 4 a.m. for me. So let's go.
I'll
Sun's
message
rising
you
somewhere.
later on about the J dramas because I'm still searching for some stuff for you.
Thank you.
I'm like the little merchant from Resident Evil 4, but for
What you
All
buying?
right, so ending things off Ash, where can people find you?
You can find me at all social medias at Deoxy360 on the Instagram, on the Twitters, on the YouTubes. Check me out, where I talk about Power Rangers and other Toku related things.
All right, Nexus, where can they find you?
So I think Zio has put in the account, but
I gotta put it
basically-
back on there.
Damn it!
You didn't confirm originally that you were gonna be on this live stream.
I confirmed last minute. Okay, but yeah, there's an app called Smule, Smule. That's the singing app that I put all my content. I'm at Nexus 1903, and I just made a cover of King Oger. So I pinned that cover to the top of my profile, so you guys can go check it out and listen. I hope it's good because I definitely messed up with the raps. But
And
yeah, you can
eventually we're
go
gonna
check
try
it
doing
out.
a loop hat duet.
Yeah, I'm
So.
looking forward to it.
So, all right, Cloudy, you got anything to plug?
I thought Mark was going to go first, but yes, I do actually.
I'm
So-
going in order of screen, and since Mark died,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Gotcha.
I'm reincarnated. I made a wish
um,
that I would come back.
Other
Oh,
than
where's
this,
the boost
Another
go at?
reincarnation.
oh, damn.
I got one for you.
It's all the way
Cool.
up there.
Where's the other 4?
Wait, I have one. I have one up there as well.
All right. Go to if you can twitch.tv/the Dawn Clan, because next Saturday, remember how I said I don't play games on stream that I'm not good at? Well, next Saturday we're going to be having a community Smash tournament streamed live. So
Yeah, that's
it's
right.
there's gonna be a lot of people on the Discord having fun. It's not too late to enter, so if you want to come watch us play Smash and join in, that's what we'll be doing next Saturday.
I'm on that Smash tournament, and I still need
You
to
will
train.
be going down.
No, I'm going to defeat you.
I don't think so.
Put some WWE style promos on each other.
I have yet to lose a single
Mark.
1v1, even while sick.
Go ahead, promote your shit.
All right. I am a nerd named Mark.
Oh my god, what happened?
What happened?
That was me.
We're still live.
That was me.
We're still live.
Theo, what did you
Mark, what did you do? What did you
cut
do?
Mark off. You cut Mark off. Theo, you cut Mark off.
I don't know what happened.
You did it. Who else? It was you.
I was just chilling. That was not me.
I think we're still live. The tickets are going.
It's still going up. I have no idea.
No, we're still live. It says on the top left.
Yeah.
Still
Go back to it.
No idea
Go
what
back to
just
the
happened.
lobby.
I was just like, oh shit. The thing just
It was
I
just
thought
like,
you were playing-
We have to
Hold
read-
on, Mark.
we have to
Wait
read
a
the
minute, I'll
stream,
let you
Mark.
finish.
That's the name of the episode.
the stream was like, hold on, Mark.
even
wait a
Mel
minute, I'll
was
let
just
you
like,
finish.
fuck all that shit.
Right?
Oh my God.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
That was
Listen.
completely. I have no idea how that even
No idea.
happened.
No idea.
It wasn't intentional, guys. It wasn't intentional. We don't even know what the hell just happened.
Gosh, what happened?
Oh my God. That was not.
That's what happens
great.
when you pass the 3-hour mark. It's just like, nope.
Yep,
Everything-
Well, we've
everything
done
goes-
326.
we
before.
have.
Yeah.
Damn, I do blame Turbo Ryuki on this one.
Yeah.
You're right.
He's
Yeah, definitely
he's
not.
biting at your Ethernet cables.
Dude, I don't
Oh
even know.
god.
What was I saying? Oh yeah,
Sure.
I'm name Mark on all the social media stuff. I started using Instagram more for kind of like behind the scenes, like daily life, like content, like a little peek behind the wizard's curtain of what I do when I content create and shopping. Because I bought a whole bunch of toys and manga. Because Barnes and Noble's doing buy one get one half off on manga, so I bought 20 volumes yesterday. Because I got a lot of reading to do.
Spending
Still,
some money.
of course. If there's a manga debt this year, I'm good for it. But yeah, I'm just still creating my content. I'm actually reviewing King Oger, like a Super Sentai. Like that's
Nice.
new, and people
Well
are
done.
watching it more than Geets. So I guess I'm gonna stop doing Kamen Rider videos at some point because
You're gonna be like, I'm done with Geets.
Yeah.
It's
Done.
over.
it's
I don't care
Spider-Man no
anymore.
more. I'm just dropping the Desire Driver in a trash can and walking away towards a freaking King Oger.
Who is that
there it is.
Lightspeed Hibiki guy you're talking about? I've never.
I have
heard of
no idea. I have no
Yeah.
idea who that is.
No idea. But yeah, I'm just under name Mark on everything. I made everything simple, cut dry. If you ever want to ask me questions about content creating, my DMs are open, both for
Same,
people who have
same.
questions and also haters. I love going back and forth with people who want to talk shit. Shit talker by nature. I'm great at it. So yeah,
Just back your facts. Like I will promote my Discord server. The invites are on the video description. I recently did a server purge. If those of you that were on my Discord server suddenly saw yourself get kicked out, I was kicking out inactive users. I gave everybody 24-hour notice. Make yourself known, or else you were gonna get kicked. But the invites are there. If you have any issues, I did have someone like take me to Denny's parking lot in my own server because they felt that the entire Boost Mark II thing was not an asshole by Ace, and they wanted me to defend my point. And I was like, all right, cool. I will go ahead and defend my point. So yeah, it's happened. It's happened.
Nice.
So we will have those arguments.
So can we defend one other? No, I don't.
No, we're not. We're not talking about that.
No, not Red Velvet. Jesus Christ.
That's already been decided.
It's the crazy.
I've won that war, so it's okay.
No, not at all.
That war hasn't
still there.
decided, and it forever will never. It will be abstained.
Can you join back and be inactive again? Nah, bro. I'm gonna kick you the second you join if that's the case. I better see you post at least twice a day, and it better not be your Duolingo score because
I don't even
you did for a while.
Zio, I've never even made a post on the Discord. I don't think.
We get on VC. That's what it is.
All right, you can just get on VC.
Yeah, I mean,
I barely post. I'm always in VC.
Yeah, it's always VC.
I've never made a post. I don't think.
I'm gonna go search now. I'm gonna fact check you.
Go for it. It's got to be really a long time ago.
All right. So on that note, we will catch you all next week with the next TokuTonic shift. Until then, bye.
Bye.